Hmm.
That tracks.
I think that's an unfortunate. It says more about the British than it does about other countries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little bit sad. I am disappointed in my people.
I
When
try
is-
not to rag on your
Mm.
country
Well,
too much, but
Just when is there ever a day that you're not disappointed in your people?
I am regularly
did
disappointed in my
colonize-
people. It's a national hobby at this point, being disappointed in ourselves.
You did colonize 2/3 of the world. Are we really surprised that you're like, why don't you speak English?
yeah, no, it's
It's fucking. Who's more disappointing, you? Americans or Britain or British people?
Well, see, I can at least ignore
call.
America on the basis that they fought for their independence and they're making the most of it. Clearly,
yeah, well. I mean, you know, we
That's-
babby imperialism, I guess.
yeah, like we burnt the White House down. We made our point. You can have it.
I mean, if you think about it, like the UK, we still have some expectations, so it's more disappointing when they do some dumb shit.
There's
US,
also
we know
disappointing
better.
The UK hasn't been as backsliding into a two-party system as America has for the last several decades.
Well, yes,
It's
that
a
is very
relatively recent development and is very disappointing. Come on, Lib Dems, stop being idiots.
On that note,
Hmm.
war crimes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
war crimes.
welcome back,
Give me
everyone.
more old women to shoot, Hugh.
Welcome
Please
back,
not
everyone, to
short
the Liberation of
grandmas.
St. Cardias Rest, episode 39.
Damn.
If only I was morally capable of stopping you, but I'd actually just ask if I could axe the old lady first.
Mm.
But yeah,
Classic aggro.
Riven's
We
just gonna
ripped-
fuck off one of these days and leave us.
Yep.
We're gonna
That's
get
what's
ordered to hunt her down and shoot her in the back.
Yep.
This is fine.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a fun, kind of interesting, like, subplot. Having someone actually defect.
it would be interesting.
I mean,
But
as it
yeah.
stands right now, that's way too much work, so...
We return to the group as Flux takes Agrotrom Nualia and a squad of troopers to investigate a mysterious cave that had been occupied by some angry people with guns who did not take kindly to your investigation.
What? I thought they were delighted to see us.
Flux,
Well, at least
you,
they're dead now.
Flux, you went on to explore the lake within this underground space via scuba gear. Not finding anything of particular interest beyond the battered helmet of a trooper that appeared to have been eaten by the Habho before it left this area. Meanwhile, Riven had been diligently manning their post, keeping an eye on the village.
She's had a
and
rough
its
time with coworkers.
Yeah, dealing with a few arguments between the troopers, having to pull rank.
Yep. And she's not happy about it. But whatever.
I mean, that is kind of your job.
Yeah, I know. Every once in a while, I do my job. Also, you know, like I said when we started this, depending on how this mission goes, Riven may be defecting sooner rather than later.
Have
But
fun
yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
I don't even think. Here's the sad thing about this. They probably get so many attempted defections that we wouldn't even be told to go get you.
Nah, probably
Just
not.
be like, oh, when you see him, shoot him.
They'd probably send some MPs after you to catch you before you reach the front.
I have to wonder, like, though, how does that work with Mechanicus?
Mason.
Then the
Mason, can you-
Mechanicus.
Sorry, one second.
Then the Mechanicus sends some Skitari after you.
Yeah, that sounds right. Okay.
Though you are an engine seer, so you'd probably be picked up by the MPs.
Hmm.
You're not important enough to have full Mechanicus care.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine, whatever.
Well, you're not walking around with any Mechanicus secrets at the end of the day.
This is true.
I think the most they'd be
That's
upset
why
about
you were
is the
trusted with
augments
an
you
Imperial
have.
Guard. But it's why you were trusted with an Imperial Guard regiment to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Bless.
Yeah, that's fine. You guys are my problem. I understand.
But yeah, we return to the dank, cold cave as Flux surfaces, presumably to see Nualia and Agrotrom piling some crates that they've salvaged, since they were told to dismantle what was left of the gear and find anything useful.
Weren't we also
Aggletrom's
looking
got a
for...
swollen hand because he's been eating a bunch of stinging bugs.
I forgot about that.
Weren't we also searching for a specific radio frequency?
Yeah, we had come back and we're getting the boxes in order to move them out, and Flux was going through the radio frequencies to try and see if we could figure out where that communication was. And I had gotten the scrambler thingy.
Yeah. Give me a tech roll, Flux.
My brain just did bad. But yes.
As you clamber out of the water, are you going to change back into your gear?
We were already in the other earlier antechamber, and I believe I had already changed into my other gear.
Yeah, because we discussed how much time it had taken to basically do everything we were doing.
Q, reset the API.
Mason's brother in the background with a sword.
Say hi. Say hi to him for me.
He seems.
Can we have a guest? Can we have a guest appearance of fucking Marty?
I actually want a guest appearance of Marty. Get over here.
Hello? Can I help
Oh
you?
my god.
Hello. Good to meet
Hello,
you.
Marty.
Good to meet you as well.
Tell us about yourself, Marty.
Has it really gone that far? Am I?
Yes, Max. Fucking,
Why?
I thought you were gonna go on a tirade. You fucking dude.
I got nothing, man. I got nothing.
Go ahead and roll, Alex.
I attempted to. Yeah.
Yeah, I reset the API, that's what I was telling you to roll. Yeah. A quick glance through the preloaded signals in the Scrambler. You're very quickly able to realize that unless someone's broadcasting on one of these frequencies, you're not going to be able to know if that's the one they're using. You're going to have to wait for the time and cycle through them as quickly as you can and see if you can catch the message.
Yeah, that's what I thought I was doing.
Alright. Yeah, you wait patiently for the allotted time and begin cycling through the various frequencies. There's a good 24 different frequencies with encryption codes loaded into the Scrambler. But eventually you come across something. Static at first, then a series of beeps. After a few seconds, the sequence of beeps repeats itself.
Yeah,
If only
would
you had
definitely be getting out the data slate to write that down.
Gee, if only you had an engine seer who spoke binary.
Or Morse code.
Is that horse code?
Horse code.
Force code? Dorse code? What's it called? Jorse code?
I believe it's called Dwarves code.
Is that source code? They broke the Matrix. God damn it.
Go ahead and give me
You-
a dollar roll to see if you can work out what this is. But yeah, it's not difficult for you
Can
to
everyone do that?
transcribe it onto a.
I
Well,
don't
if
think.
Then
Flux
I'm
wants
gonna
to play
re-roll
it for
that.
everyone.
Yeah, I don't think
Wow.
Flux has actually told us anything.
Okay.
4's all I got, fam.
It sounds similar to an Astra Militarum code that you were taught in Basic, but it's a bit different. You're not quite sure.
Fun. How do those codes work? Like, what kind of cipher system does the base code use that I'm familiar with?
Effectively, it's Morse.
Okay.
But this seems to have rearranged the alphabet, quote unquote, to make it harder to decode.
Could I just fucking sit and brute force that shit for an hour? If it's a short message, that should be no problem.
In theory, yes. You're not sure how long it would take.
Okay. Yeah, Flux will just kind of look down at the fucking beeps that they've got. Would they at least be able to translate into what the letters would usually be?
Yeah. It's a series of random gibberish letters.
Yeah. We'll fucking write that down and just kind of disconnect briefly and show it to Noelia. Well, we have gibberish.
Can I attempt to make heads or tails of it?
Sure. Give me a scholar roll.
Okay. Would this be its own thing or in assistance to Flux's?
Its own.
Its own. Okay. Mason, what's your stats in Scholar?
Metagaming.
Yeah, that's fair. No, that's true.
If I had to give you a 0 to 2 dice pool score, it's 2 dice.
5 and I'm gonna save my wrath.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Worst case
well,
scenario, we can genuinely sit with the fucking Servo Skull Array and use the cogitator there to just fucking brute force that shit.
Yeah, either that or even just like see does it have words at all and can we pick out like what makes sense. So, yeah.
Hell, we can even radio that shit in.
Yeah.
Send it up the line.
Yeah, Nualia, you take a moment to look over the code, both in the transcribed form Flux had made and in the original tones and dashes. And you vaguely remember an old version of this cipher. And after a bit of fiddling and a few false starts, you're able to assemble a set of coordinates. According to your suit's auto sensors, they're about 10 or so miles south of here.
Okay. I will give that that finished translation to Flux and say I think I've got it.
Alright. If you can finish getting what you want from these boxes, I'm going to head out and see if I can see anyone outside. See if we can maybe get a connection. How does the Vox stuff work? Would I be able with my pack to call into command, or do I need the larger Vox unit?
You would need a larger Vox unit to call into command.
Okay, so we'd have to wait to get back to the what time did it say? I believe it had a time for when they were supposed to get to the new coordinates as well.
No, that was when they were
No?
going to get the message.
Okay. Yeah, Flux will just look at Nolia. Do you mind if I head back to the tank and try and get these into command as fast as I
No, of course. We'll finish up here and then attempt to meet you.
and the two of you will be okay?
Yes, I
And
think.
I'm just gonna look over at Agrotron.
Well, I think the rest of the squad is still around. So if nothing else, leave Frampt with us, and we'll come back.
Agrotron's just looking at his hand, and he's like, yes, sure. Oh, that'll be fine.
And we had killed all of the people that ran in here, correct?
Yep.
Yep, far as we know.
As far as you know, yeah.
Agril had, if I remember correctly, Agril had counted 5 people, and then he killed one in the entrance with a grenade, and then we killed 4 of them further in.
Cool.
Yeah.
Then the first thing Flux is going to do is try and get out and call the squad that's closer, because Frampt had taken them to go and see if there was a second exit. And then would be heading back towards the tank.
Alright. You make your way out of the mouth of the cave into the chasm, standing on a shelf of rock, looking over the floor, several, maybe 16 odd meters below. As you key on your Vox, you get a very crackly, staticky report, and you hear Leisha's voice. Is that you, Sergeant? The signal is very weak.
Leisha had been left back in the Torox, correct?
Yeah, she's with me.
Oh, was it Leisha?
She
Feely,
shouldn't
rather.
be.
It was Feely that
No,
we
Feely
left.
was left with the Torox.
Feely
yeah.
was left. Feely was left with Riven, I thought, and we brought
Yeah.
Leisha, or vice versa. No, we brought Leisha with us.
Yeah, we brought
Yeah,
Leisha.
I have
Feely was
Feely,
left
sorry.
with. Yeah, Feely was left with the ribbon.
But Leisha was left in the Torox by the tank,
Was she?
I believe. Yeah, I thought.
Let me have a look. No, Leisha is with Frampt, along with,
This is what happens when I forget to take notes for one session.
Mhm.
A single session.
Hmm.
Can you just give me the quick run through of who we have with us and who's where? I'm sorry.
yeah. Frampt has Billy, Menson, and Leisha with him.
Then tank crews back by the Torox.
Yep.
Do they have anyone left with them?
Let me check. Yes. Oh, no they don't. It is just them and the Torox.
And then me, Agril, and Noelia are down here. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Flux will give a little bit of a grimace at the crackle. Yeah, it turns out there isn't a second entrance. Head back to the entrance of the cave. We've cleared it out. I'm gonna need some help moving some items back.
Understood, Sergeant Major. I will let the Commissar know. Yeah. Since Alex has apparently been interrupted, we will return to Agrotron and Nualia. What are the two of you up to?
I think mostly we were gathering the stuff in the crates and looting the dead bodies.
Alright. Each of the bodies is carrying a standard militia auto rifle.
Mm-hmm.
They have a couple of magazines each. couple of them are carrying grenades, frag.
Definitely gonna take those grenades. How many are there?
3.
3. Okay. Anything else?
Go ahead and give me an investigation roll, Nualia. Nothing else that seems interesting or unusual.
I'll let Agril make his own when Mason gets back.
Apologies.
You're good.
No worries.
Yeah, are there... I guess I haven't found whether or not there were any rations or anything like that.
There were not.
Okay.
The crates appear to be mostly filled with mining equipment, pickaxes, jackhammers, hand drills. There's a couple of crates full of detonators, fuses, and other accoutrements to explosives, but no actual explosives themselves.
I am definitely going to grab the detonators and just basically like haul the crate of detonators and fuses up. Just like, yep, the sergeant major will want those. Mason.
Yes.
Was looking at looting the dead bodies and checking through the crates. If you want to make an investigation check on that, I fucked mine pretty hard.
Sure, I'll try. Would you like to know the 0 to 10 number of dice I have in that?
We'll find out when you roll it.
Yeah. However many it is, you got more than me.
Yeah,
Agrotrum is not a smart individual.
going over the bodies after Nualia. Nualia has picked them clean of everything that seems particularly valuable or useful. You do find each of them has a combat knife strapped on the underside of their left arm. But also, you pull the battered carapace away from them, and they are wearing carapace armor, which you can choose to take if you feel like.
Yes, definitely gonna try and get as much of that as we can.
But under the collar of the sky blue uniform jacket beneath the carapace armor, you see a grey collar. And at first it doesn't seem like anything unusual, but then you take another look and it's made of a very different material, a much finer material. You open the jacket up, and they're not wearing the usual vest under their uniform. Instead, you see they're wearing a full jumpsuit that is quilted in places, and as you feel around it, has plates of flak in other areas. You've never seen any of the other enemy troopers wearing this.
I think these people were special operations. Look at this. They have the carapace and then the flak jumpsuit. It's interesting.
That is interesting.
It's too bad they're so incompetent. They all died in one place.
Looking at
Also
this...
notice
Go
a
ahead.
small icon on the chest, about the size of a quarter. A red circle with a black outline, and a black horse's head. Seems to be mouth open, head pulled back, as though rearing.
Can I roll scholar to recognize that?
Can if you want.
Oh yeah.
Never seen it
It's-
before.
Look, they have a sticker of an animal.
Have
I must really like this one.
Have I ever seen anything like it?
Go ahead and give me a scholar roll.
Okay. Five and a complication.
You don't
It's a
recognize the
really
symbol,
fancy stick.
but the jumpsuit is very familiar. So the last time you saw it, it had plates of carapace armor in a gunmetal grey over the top, and a jump pack on the back, and had been descending on the ruins of a burning monastery.
Noalia just looks very carefully at these, and then takes out her bolt pistol and double taps each one of them.
Their heads explode against the floor like ripe melons.
Huh?
It,
What did you? Were they zombies?
No, but I know who these are.
What's
Stay-
a zombie?
Nothing.
I think you called them Plagueborn or something like that. Stupid name.
But no, I know who these are. Stay here for a moment, please. And
Okay.
do see if you can get the carapace armor off of them. And Noalia is going to
The radio
go.
needs to give Agrotrom shit.
Noalia is going to go back outside, and she's going to get on the radio. Flux, are you there?
You'd probably see Flux standing
Oh, just still
on the
standing there.
shop
As far as
of
I'm
rock.
aware, I haven't left yet.
Okay, alright, sorry,
Yep.
I thought you had. Okay.
As you approach, we'll return to Flux so that they can finish their conversation.
Yes.
Sorry,
That's
No,
alright.
You're good.
I had my room broken into. I forget what even I said, if we're being honest.
You hadn't really said much of anything. You'd
Oh, that's
contacted
good.
Leisha and heard that she could hear you. That was about it.
Okay. Yeah, Flux is just gonna very quickly. Turns out there isn't a second entrance. I need you all to come back and assist Nualia. There's some items that need moving from in here. Yeah, that's all they're gonna say.
Sergeant Major?
And yeah,
Yeah.
with that they'll cut the calm.
Alright. You hear the thud of heavy metal shod bootfalls behind you.
Flux, a moment, please.
Yeah, what's up?
I have. Agril has discovered something identifying on the troopers that we killed in the cave. And while he did not know it, I did. And I must be honest, it disturbs me greatly.
Can you show me?
Yes, absolutely. But before I do, actually no, we will show you first. Come here, and she'll lead you back down to the cave, and show you the mark on the troopers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to get an image of that as well.
Yeah, and Noalia will also say, Flux, if there is any way that I can also have you send that image to the Inquisition, because these are the men who burned my monastery to the ground.
I will as soon as I can. Unfortunately, without either ribbon to translate it into something more easily sent, we won't be able to.
Would I know whether or not my thing... Mine is just a Vox link, right?
They're all voxes.
Yep.
The
would
best we
have
can
to
do
be
is get
translated to
ribbon to
binary.
translate it to binary.
Very well. Then yes, as soon as we can. In the meantime, I will be reporting this to them.
Of course, as soon as we get back to the main Vox. Well, you should be able to get yours sooner than that.
Yes. I will take a moment and report that.
What other-
No, I will finish investigating first. There might be other things.
What other information can you give me?
On these troopers or on what's in the crates?
Whatever you think is relevant for when I call in. I'm going to be heading out before Front gets here.
These. I did not see these troopers much in action. This was more as I was leaving, as I was retreating from my monastery. They were jump pack troopers that were highly efficient. They cut down several highly trained Sisters of Battle. But that is all I know of them.
And you've been going through the boxes, I assume.
Yes.
What do they have in them?
Not
Anything?
much, to be honest. Digging tools, fuses, and detonators, which I thought you might enjoy having. Out of character, was it? That was mostly it, right?
More or less, the weapons from the troopers, their carapace armor, much of their armor is quite damaged. Two of the suits are riddled with las burns that have melted clean through some holes in the armor itself. Another has been punctured by a cloud of shrapnel. And 3 grenades, as well as the scuba gear that you recovered earlier.
Yeah. There were no rations with any of them, though.
Do me a favor and make sure that we get the scuba gear packed as well.
Of course.
That would be helpful for us in the future.
Yes, I can do that. Though, as I said, we did not find any rations, or even any sign of rations. So either they've only been here for a short time, or they've gone through everything, and this was the natural end of their assignment. Can you mute Mason?
Yeah, sorry, that was. There's some something's caught in this what you call it Roomba. I'll turn
Ah.
push to talk on.
Thank you.
Alright. I'll get back to the Torox as soon as I can and call as much as I can in. And yeah, Flux is gonna do a as fast of a walk/run as they can.
Right.
They're not very strong, so it might just be power walking.
Your first problem greets you as you make your way out of the cave, and you quickly realize that while the rock shelf you are standing on is roughly the same height as the one that once stood at the other end of the chasm, the wall around it is significantly higher. Seems the only easy way in was collapsed by explosives.
We do still have the grapple
Is-
hook, though.
Yeah. Are there any handholds cut in anywhere? Because they would have given themselves an exit.
Not
Me and
necessarily.
awareness roll.
You don't make a place that you can't get out of.
Not unless you have no intention of leaving.
They were waiting for coordinates.
Yes, but this is all metagaming, but some extremely elite troops would know that their mission is do or die. You get caught, you either kill what found you, or you die.
Yeah. I'm just saying, even if I had that objective, if at all possible, I would have given myself an exit.
Yeah.
No handholds that you can see.
Then again, their exit may also have been in the cave down that one waterway that we didn't check, the one that went further underground.
Mm-hmm. What does the rubble on the opposite side of the shelf look like? Because most rock stuff does make
Yeah,
Ledge.
it's a sloping pile of loose rubble and boulders.
Time to do the climbing.
All right. It is
Hopefully
very,
not dying.
it is very loose. As you approach, you can very clearly see that a lot of it could give way at any moment. You test your weight on a few, it slips quickly underfoot. It will be a difficult climb.
I'm shocked, truly.
It also doesn't quite reach the top of the chasm, about 4 or so meters short.
I don't even know how we're gonna get our shit out of here.
Just throw it, forehead.
Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing else I can do, so fucking climb. Actually,
So-
is this map to scale?
Should be.
So, like, 2 people could wall climb this. You know, like the whole back-to-back walk up the wall thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Alex, real quick question. Sorry to interrupt your
Mhm.
thought here. Did you have a grappling hook at one point?
Yeah, but it's not high enough to reach from what he
Hmm.
last told us.
Okay. I was just asking because I remember that was a thing at one point.
Mm-hmm.
The cliff face is only about. Let's see.
I thought you said it couldn't last session.
It's about. No, it couldn't from the floor of the chasm. But you've risen several meters by climbing up the 2 shelves.
Oh, okay. And that makes life easier. I had been operating under the assumption that wasn't a thing. How much weight can the grappling hook bear, like?
Go ahead and give me a tech roll. Or I'd allow ballistic skill as well, technically. Point of glory. Yeah, 6 successes. You could have a quick look at the cable attached to the grappling hook as you load it all up. Seems to be a metallic fiber, very high tensile. You imagine it could probably lift several of Nualia in power armor.
Right, right. So if we were to, like, take the end of it with it already attached to something and somehow manage to fix a box onto said grappling hook, it could be raised up from the top.
Yeah, very definitely.
Cool. Then I'm just gonna grapple hook the thing, climb myself out, and leave that there for them.
Go ahead and give me
Yeah,
a
there you go.
ballistic skill roll.
Use that grappling hook.
Alright, yeah. You
Grapple babble.
you take aim, and you aim for the cleft between 2 of the plates here. You fire, the grappling hook arcs over, lands,
I'm
you
gonna
pull it
smack
back,
somebody.
and it catches taut. Give it a good heft. Seems sturdy. You begin to climb your way up without too much difficulty coming over the edge. And you reach down, give the grappling hook a quick test to see if it's sat firmly, and realize that it is very firmly stuck.
And good
Even
news, we're
better?
bringing digging equipment out.
That is true.
Yeah, Flux is just gonna tap their comm. Hey, Nualia.
Yes.
In good news, I definitely have a sturdy place for the grappling hook to pull your shit out.
Oh.
In bad news, you might need to unpack some of that shit to dig out the end of the grappling hook when you're done.
Ah. Alright. Very well then.
I have faith in you. And then they're gonna turn off the comm. Yeah. Let's go to the Torox now.
Yeah, you clamber out and start wandering back. It's a bit of a distance. Take you a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Nualia and Agrotron, what are you doing while Flux heads back to the Taurox?
Nualia's
I forget. Was he told to do anything earlier?
helped to try and get as much carapace off of the bodies as we could.
Oh yeah. So it's probably just been like pulling, just undressing bodies.
Yeah.
Like,
You've got a stack of carapace armor. Between the pile, you could probably put together 2 undamaged suits.
he just kind of looks at me. It's like, I wish they made carapace in squat size.
Well,
Beats this flak.
honestly, if nothing else, we take some of these damaged suits back, and maybe we can get them repaired and even resized. It would be a
Maybe if
tall...
you could find someone who doesn't, who wants to shave down these plates for someone of my stature.
Of course, it would be a tall order, no pun intended. But...
Are you sure about that? I see that smile creeping on your face.
Okay, it might have been slightly intended. But, since we don't have much of a use for auto guns, we don't want more of their fellows coming by and grabbing these, so Nuali is going to gather up the auto guns and the, and their ammo clips, and is going to dump them into the water. The deepest part she can.
Yep, they sink very satisfyingly.
Yep. Well,
Why
that's
are we just doing this? Couldn't we not melt it down for scrap metal?
I suppose we could, but this is less weight that we have to worry about. Apparently we're going to have a time getting all of this back up the cliffs.
I see. I do hope that there's some fish that subsist off metal. There's certainly a decent amount down there now.
Well, I didn't see any fish down there, but if any of them happen to go down there, well, they've got something to make coral around? I don't know.
I wonder if they ate bullets, if they would explode from the inside.
I imagine if they ate a bullet and then hit something very hard, or something hit them very hard, then maybe.
This actually reminds me of something horrible I once saw. There was this really crazy, like, general sergeant person. I don't remember his rank, but he had the authority to make an Ogren eat about 5 or 6 clips worth of Ripper gun ammo.
That doesn't sound healthy.
Put it all in him. No, but what they did was, I guess it was specially designed. Basically, they used him like a walking pipe bomb.
That
Had them use his bulk to get shot at and jump right on top of enemies and kaboom, kablooey, ripped apart people everywhere. The dead Ogren.
sounds incredibly disturbing.
Yes, I remember him not being around very long and seeing some funny people with Rosariuses going around afterwards.
I am not surprised by that. Well, let's finish packing everything else back up, and I need to make a call, and then we can see about getting it all out of this chasm.
Okay. Just does whatever he has to do.
Yep, Noalia will help pack everything up and bring it outside, and then she'll step away to call the Inquisition.
Right. You guys begin hauling crates and gear out of the mouth of the cave. It's not hard to spot the grappling hook and its line. Start piling everything up outside it. As you're lifting the last of the crates out, You hear the clack of rocks hitting stone, and look up to see Commissar Frampt and the other troopers leaning over. Just about done, I see.
Indeed, just about. Noalia looks down, looks up. I was trying to think, would it be better to have one of them down here to help haul things, or better to have them up there to haul things?
Well, someone's got to start heaving on a rope to lift crates up, so...
Yeah. Then yeah,
Probably good for
Noalia,
the person with the army to do that.
Noalia will call up and say, I'll be down here to help lift things up, and you all stay up there to lift some of these crates as well. But we'll do that in a minute. I need to make a call.
Alright. Frampt nods, starts directing the other troopers. Alright, grab that line, loop it around that spar of rock.
Yeah.
They head about their business.
Yeah. And Noalia will step outside, take out the Inquisitorial Rosette, and hook up her Vox link.
Alright. Yeah, there's a click, burst of static, and then the slightly distorted but familiar voice of the interrogator. Report?
Sister Noalia, reporting from the hamlet. We've nearly concluded our investigation. We have a little bit more, but we found some news that you need to be informed of. And Noalia will relay, just out of character real quickly, Noalia will relay the Habho, what we did about the Habho, and then tracking backwards to find the source of it and how we found this place. And then she will say, once we investigated the cavern more, we dressed down the bodies and discovered specific marks on these bodies. These troopers are not from this planet, or at the very least, they have been off-world. I know, because these are troopers who helped in the destruction of my monastery on... Oh, goddamn, I had it. Here, give me a sec.
Was it like Ophelia 6 or 7 or something?
No, it was, they helped destroy my monastery on Fenrilis Secundus.
Reports of enemy combatants in the AO is concerning information indeed. Thank you for reporting this.
Of course. We have some coordinates for where their extraction was. We will be heading there to attempt to ambush the enemy as well.
Advise caution, sister. Unknown combatants bring unknown variables. If possible, do not engage without overwhelming superiority.
Of course. Caution will be taken. Thank you very much, Interrogator. Noalia off.
I love how Noelle is just deciding we're going to find them now.
Oh no, I thought that was what we were doing. Was we had the coordinates, I thought we were heading that way.
We are calling that in to HQ and seeing what the fuck they want us to do.
Oh, well then
Hopefully,
scrap
we don't
sorry,
have to
then
go.
then scrap
No,
what
no.
no,
No,
scrap
no,
what I
by all
said. No, don't do that. Scrap what I said then. And
Hey, it's fine. Noelle can just be a dumb bitch. This is already an established canon thing anyways.
all right, thank you. That's enough. But then yeah, scrap what I said, because Noalia would have known that you were planning on calling it into HQ and seeing what to do. And so she'll report that.
Sister? Await a report from Astra Militarum Command. If a reconnaissance is ordered, maintain utmost caution. Your capture would be a severe blow to our efforts.
Of course. Caution will be taken. Thank you, Interrogator. Emperor be with you.
May his light guide your steps, sister.
And yeah,
And the Voxmine clicks silent.
yep. Yeah, after that, Nualia will begin helping with hauling the crates.
Alright, yeah. Between you guys and the troopers, a rough alignment, a rough crew of hefting crates up the rock face begins. And yeah, you're able to get most of the gear up to the top without too much difficulty. Takes a little while though, about 20 odd minutes.
Yep. And then yeah, she will set about getting herself up there. And yeah. Mason's AFK, but I am assuming that she's also going to help get Agril up there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not difficult for you to climb up once the crates are up. Though, once you do reach the top, Fred glances down and says, "Well, that seems to be everything. You will have to do something about this hook, though." He gestures down, as it is very clearly wedged between two shelves of rock.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Front gestures at the grappling hook buried in the rock and says, "We'll have to do something about that. Can't seem to get it loose."
There are some digging tools in that crate over there. Let's break some of those out. And yeah.
Yeah, you're able to break out a couple of drills and other tools for shattering rock. Not too difficult with the appropriate gear. And you are able to free the hook, reel the line in. There's quite a lot of gear scattered about here. You could laden everyone down with a lot of stuff and hope that they can just carry it, or you can make multiple trips.
I think we've got quite a few people here. How many crates are there?
I'd say there's 4 crates, including the digging gear, along with the 2 sets of scuba gear and the carapace armor.
Okay. How far is it to where we left the Taurox parked?
It's 400 or 500 meters.
So not terribly bad. Maybe like 10-minute walk if we're not laden down.
Yeah, around that.
Yeah, we'll do multiple trips then.
All right. We will return to Flux then, as they reach the Taurox. The tank parked beside it, Lisa sitting on the turret, keeping an eye out on the surrounding land. Which waves as she sees you approach Flux.
Yeah, Flux will give a wave and hurry to the Taurox.
Yeah, you clamber in. It's not difficult. Everything's as you left it.
I'm back. What I miss?
Not a lot. Hefting some crates out of the chasm.
Ah, boxes.
So is this the Taurox that I'm currently plugged into?
No.
This Taurox number 2.
Oh, right. I
You
forgot
guys
you
have
took a
to name
Taurox
your
video.
Taurox. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You should name them. It would make life easier.
Yeah, I know we named
We
Our
haven't
Toroks,
named
but-
any of them.
Didn't? Oh, I thought we did. Damn.
Your
We
tank
named
crew
the
named
tank.
your tank.
Okay, well, that is definitely a thing we could do.
But yeah, you're able to hook into the main Vox unit, Flux.
Yep. We'll immediately ring up whoever I can reach on command.
Yeah, you're able to tune onto the command frequency. You announce yourself and are quickly met by the response.
Regiment and platoon.
Fuck, let me scroll.
Company and platoon,
Or
rather. You are the 999th of the 13th.
the 13th is the number I didn't have. 13th is regiment, yes.
Company.
999th is our regiment. Yeah.
Nine,
Your regiment is
999th is the platoon.
Oh, god damn it. Right. Okay.
Yeah, that was a mistake on my part. They should have been asking for company and platoon.
We'll get there. It's all right.
999th of the 13th company.
Stood. Currently investigating Karlsplatz.
Yes, we had taken a detour and had called in about the Habho situation.
I assume you have an update on the situation.
Yes, we found a cave that seemed to have held it. There was a rather large cage and the seeming remains of one individual that had been around it, as well as at least 5 enemy troopers, mining equipment, some scuba gear, and no rations to be seen. They had been given coordinates, or rather were about to be given coordinates that we intersected. And Flux will relay the specific place coordinates.
I forget whether or not Noalia had gotten around to reporting the dart that she had found in the cage. I don't think I did.
You did not.
Yeah. Okay.
Understood, Sergeant Major. One moment, please, while I relay this to the commander.
One other important detail. Our Sister of Battle said that these troopers wore uniforms that were not necessarily from the planet, that they had been involved with the burning of her convent. There was a marking that I was able to get a picture of, but I can't send it currently.
Good, I will include that information in my report. Please hold.
There is about 10 minutes of static on your end. You can see Nualia and the other troopers heading towards you over the broken ground of the plateaus. Before the reply comes in.
One moment, I'm going to reconnect you with the commander.
There's a sudden click, and then the familiar tones.
Sergeant Flux! Interesting news you bring me.
That is definitely one way to look at it.
Do you have any further information about these off-worlders? Who they might be? Where they're from?
We don't know if they're off-worlders. Specifically, all that I was told was that Nualia recognized them, and rather not the individuals, but the symbol and uniform from the burning of her convent. There was the cage that we assumed the Habho was in, and that had been very heavily damaged. I was able to get pictures and video of the caves that they were in, and we are currently taking inventory of their equipment and seeing what we can salvage.
Very good. When you can, send back all the data you've gathered. For now, it seems that we can rule out natural causes for this creature's migration. Follow those up on those coordinates, but do so quietly. You're the only unit we have in the area, so be stealthy. Reconnaissance only, no engagement.
Right. I'll send the tank back then.
Anything find out from
I can't hear you.
Hold on.
Still cutting
It's
out.
still cutting out.
Hugo, smack your router. Nope. Saw your lips move.
That's fucking microphone.
It's working now.
That it is.
It only works.
It's actually my download affecting his internet.
This is really cheap, and if I tap the volume slider, it sometimes disconnects this headphone, so I think the wiring in here is a little bit loose.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's barely picking up. How's that?
Yeah.
It was fine as soon as you moved it very close to your face. Before that,
Yeah.
nothing.
Alright, fuck it, I won't use the voice mod.
No.
Feels bad, man.
Sorry.
That's not your fault. Very well. Follow up on the coordinates that you discovered, but do so stealthily, reconnaissance only. Bringing the tank would probably be a poor option, but try to find any further information you can from Sister Nualia about the combat capabilities of this group. They might have aerial support that could change your approach.
This is fair. I will warn you, though I'm sure you've already been informed that Nualia has also been reported this incident to the Inquisition.
I assumed as much. As long as they don't issue any conflicting orders, we should be fine.
Yeah, we'll see. I will get back to you with as much information I can. Unfortunately, our engine seer is back at Karlsplatz, and we won't be able to translate the data I have into binary until we meet back up with them.
Her.
It might be in your best interest to do that before moving on to the rendezvous location.
Is that wise, given that we don't know when the rendezvous is meant to happen?
You can assume they'll wait for a while in any case. There's a window of opportunity and then a certain time that they will linger just in case their quarry is delayed. But I think it would be better to go in with your full complement just in case. Keep a distance. Should things go badly, you will need everyone you can get.
Agreed. I am significantly less anxious now that I know I can do that. Not
Always
dying.
best to have superior numbers, Sergeant Major.
Yes, though unfortunately time constraints do make it difficult at times.
My recommendation would be radio to your group and have them fall in with you at a rendezvous point near the target coordinates. You can send a scouting arrangement from there.
Understood. We'll get that data to you as soon as we can.
Very good, Sergeant Major. And good luck. Emperor be with you.
And with you. Call you when this is over if we're not dead.
Sigh out. And there's a click as the Vox returns and you hear the familiar tones of the operator. Anything further, Sergeant Major?
Not that I'm aware of.
Emperor be with you. Command out.
Yeah. Flux will just turn the comm off, get themselves outside the car. Looking over what they're bringing in. Actually, I'm gonna ask this question first that might shoot me in the foot a little bit. What specifically did you all bring back as your first haul?
Probably the detonators, because everything else we probably would have had to repack or find space, so the detonators would have been easier to take.
And there's just 4 boxes of detonators.
No, it's 4 crates, 4 or 5 crates, mixed amongst everything. So I think it was 1 crate of detonators, fuses, stuff to attach to explosives.
Yeah, I'd say you could probably bring like half of the stuff that was there on each trip. Do 2 runs.
Yeah.
So, like half the suits of carapace, the box detonators, the scuba gear. Leave the crates of work supplies behind. The generators can come back for those later.
Right. Looking at what they're bringing, how long would it take to give it a once over and make sure that not that it's usable but that it's not identifiable or have anything related to tracking equipment on it?
If you want it to be thorough, about half an hour. If you wanted to give it a quick once over, 10-15 minutes.
Okay. I hope you got what you needed with your first trip. We need to get out and move.
Very well.
Pack it into the car. We'll drop it somewhere random on our way to meet with the rest of the squad.
Understood. Then yeah, probably would, as you said, probably would have been able to get half, so probably like a couple, like the 2 usable carapaces and then the crate of detonators and such. So. Oh.
Alright.
Oh, and before I forget, Nualia is going to take 2 of the frag grenades that she got off of the corpses and hand them to Agril.
No.
Hmm?
We don't know if any of this is workable or reliable. I don't want anyone using any equipment until we check it over.
No, fair.
It all
Understood.
stays packed together.
Understood. Then she'll put all 3 frag grenades in with the stuff we're dropping off.
You're able to pile the crates onto the Torok, strap them down. The rest of the squad climbs in. Frampt gives them all the order to clamber in. They seat themselves up, and as they're doing so, he turns to you, Flux. What's the news, Sergeant Major?
5 dead, an interesting connection to Nualia's past, and orders for reconnaissance. All in all, it's been an exciting day. Everyone strapped in?
There's a general round of yes, sirs.
Yeah. Flux is gonna start up the Torox and radio over to the tank. Start yourself up, you're gonna be heading back to the town.
You got it, boss.
And yeah, we're gonna head as far, or rather as close as we can, to the location that we have coordinates for, but also going back within range to radio the other Torox.
Well, the Torox was left just about in range.
No, it wasn't. We had driven several we had driven a while past being out of range with the other Toroks, and Vox knew that Feely was operating. We had told them if we weren't back in 6 hours to panic. And that was way before we got to this point.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
How long has it been?
We had been out of range of the main Toroks for a bit, and then our squad went out of range of the Toroks that we were in for a bit.
Fair. It's been about 3 hours.
Okay.
Maybe 3.5 at this point.
All right.
Out of character, would I know whether or not if my suit of power armor is fully enclosed, like helmet on, visor down, all of that, would I be able to speak over a Vox without anybody hearing it on the outside of the power armor?
Say yes. Sororitas power armor is sufficiently advanced for that, I would say.
Okay. Nualia is going to Vox and say, Sergeant Major, a private line for a moment.
No problem. And given that they're just hardlined into their thing, they will mentally switch it over.
Yep, not difficult.
Sergeant Major, there is one last thing to be aware of with these troopers. I had warned you before we set out that I had a very bad feeling about all of this, and something... When these troopers were working with the people who attacked my monastery, they were working with forces far worse than some mind-affecting psyker abilities from Mount's Edge. They were working with creatures as well. I do not know if they will have any such things at the rendezvous point. I highly doubt it, but they might.
If they were to, is there anything that we could do to protect the squad?
Run.
I meant more just being near things caused issues.
Yes.
And I don't want, if we can help it, anyone to go through what I did after we got picked up by the Inquisition.
I understand. I do not know of anything offhand. All I know is if we have any kind of confirmation of any kind of creature or beast, then we should not go anywhere near. We should break off immediately.
Well, Nualia, you would know one thing that you have been taught repeatedly will
Oh,
protect you from the things of the warp.
Yeah. Other than, of course, faith in the Emperor, but nothing additional.
Right. As your priestliness makes you more of the expert on this, is there anything you can functionally do that will affect that?
Out of character, not yet, goddammit.
I will say from a mechanical.
No,
I would say from a mechanical standpoint, if I think that you have role played a sufficiently thematic act of faith or prayer or something, I might give you situational bonuses.
So the main reason I say not yet is tier 2, the Sister of Battle archetype, actually has a thing where any ally within so many meters of me gets double my rank bonus to resolve and conviction checks. So yeah, but no, other than, as Hugh states, a really good prayer, no, there's not much I can do.
Well,
yeah, Nualia will pretty much say, I can pray for all of us and try to give us strength.
You know? Never been a fan of the chanting thing. But if you think it'll help.
It certainly can't hurt.
Could
Well?
always just curse the evil powers. It works for me.
Then again, of course, if I start chanting and you burst into flames, I'm going to have some very serious questions for you, Sergeant.
At that point, that's the Inquisition's fault. They're the ones that messed around in my brain.
Burst into flame is not likely to happen, but getting banished, more likely.
This isn't
in my
this
experience.
This isn't happening out in the open. This is a very private conversation.
My bad.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Nualia is not going to be on open Vox and have the squad hear, hey, they've got demons. But yeah.
Is it weird to think that Agrotron would get like really excited at that prospect?
No, I can imagine Agril getting a willy at that.
Same, but for different reasons.
At the prospect of fighting them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's not long before you return within range of the Vox with the previous Taurox.
Yeah, Flux will immediately turn it on. Feely, talk to me.
Sergeant
Oh.
Major, we were wondering if you were going to report in. Do you want me to commit you to the corporal?
Yes, and get everyone assembled as soon as you can for me.
Is that Flux?
Hevelinwold.
Understood, Sergeant Major. Yeah, Feely turns to you, nods. Yes, Corporal, it's the Sergeant Major. He hands over the Vox headset, pokes his head outside, says, Sergeant Major says get ready to move.
Flux, it's been a daycare over here. You don't know what that means. Never mind.
Is in fact a day.
It is a day. Yes, right. You don't understand. Never mind. Did you realize that a large chunk of our squad are quite literally children?
Yeah, but at current we have bigger problems than that to deal with. I need you to get everyone packed and here as soon as you can. We are in trouble, as it were.
How trouble?
Not trouble enough for me to be allowed to keep the tank. Pack stuff up. I'll let you in as we, as you're on the road. I
Alright,
don't
will
want
do.
to stop you.
Sure. All right. I do that. Always wanted to use that. Yeah. No, Riven will lean her head out the window. Hey, Sergeant Major says pack your shit. We're moving out. And I'll
Sure,
hop over
please.
Vox to shit. Vox, what do you want me to do with Packard and Lanewald?
Everyone on board.
Copy.
This is top priority.
Got it. All right. I'll go subvocal Vox. Packard, Lanewald, plans off. Get in here. We got shit to do.
Oh. Do us a favor and let the town know that we're heading out, though.
That's a good
That
point.
might be a bit concerning for them.
Yeah.
We might be back.
What time? What time-ish in the cycle are we at, Hugh?
Uh,
Still night past curfew.
Technically, yes.
All right. Shit.
Wake them up. Wake
Yeah, that's
them
my plan.
up.
All right. So I'm gonna get on the hailer. Hey everyone, sorry for waking you up. We're heading out. We might be back. Just don't die in the meantime. And then she goes off.
Very professional. I like it.
Yeah, very extremely. Riven is very, very professional. Yeah, I'm just gonna start coordinating, getting people ready to go, and like kind of just be like, come on, waving them on, hopping in the driver's seat of the Taurox and getting ready to go.
Yeah. After a couple of minutes, Lamewald and Packard show up and start shouting the rest of the troopers into position. They all pile into the back of the Taurox. There's a few too many to really fit comfortably. A couple of them are standing in the middle aisle, holding onto the roll cage overhead. But
Who's riding shotgun?
who would be riding shotgun? I think Lamewald would be.
Yeah. All right, that makes sense.
She's sitting on the turret seat, but has it turned around to face the troopers, keeping an eye on them.
Does that
Swear,
mean
I
the
don't
turret's
think
point? No.
No.
Maybe?
No, the turret
it's probably
can
pointing
turn
backward.
independently, but it could be pointing backwards if you wanted it to.
I'm just imagining
rather have it
Laywald
face
sitting
forward.
and staring them down with the fucking turret pointed at them.
Well, the turret can't shoot inside the Taurox.
Yeah.
That would
No,
be
that-
horrendously stupid. Impressive, but very stupid.
Actually, that did happen. I think it was an American vehicle. Wasn't really a tank.
Yeah,
It
that
was an
tracks.
open-top tracked transport. It was an armored transport. Had an open top, and it had a machine gun on a pintle man. Problem was, the machine gun could swing a whole 360 and hose the inside of the compartment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah,
shocked.
that tracks.
Or was it the landing craft at D-Day? Might have been those. Either way, it was an unfortunate happenstance that led to the deaths of many unfortunate soldiers.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah, so I'm just gonna start driving.
Yeah? You're able to...
For this?
No, I don't think so. I
Cool.
think you're skilled enough that you can drive to a location without crashing.
Excellent.
Assuming you're not being chased.
I can walk 10 feet in front of me and not have to roll.
Yeah, the Taurox rattles and shakes as it traverses the fairly rough, uneven terrain, heading off-road across towards the coordinates you've been given.
So,
And-
what's up, Flux?
Right. So, we found where the Habho presumably was being kept. There was a very large, very not put together anymore cage.
Question. What's a Habho?
Large, angry thing that you were helping us track earlier.
Oh, okay, alright, so I was trying. Alright, never mind. Sorry, continue.
On top of that, we found enemy troopers, which we are aware, and is behind our lines. That's a little bit concerning. We're going out to do reconnaissance. The coordinates that I gave you are close to coordinates that they were supposed to be heading to. And
Okay.
we'll be meeting you there.
Alright.
You're on a private line, correct?
Am I?
I would say you're probably on the open channel at the moment, but it's
I
not
will
hard
be-
to switch private.
I will be in a second, and then I'll switch over.
Right, so you remember Mount Sage?
Vividly.
Noelia says we might find something worse there.
Worse? What's worse?
I don't want to think about that,
Hmm.
but I figured you should know.
Yeah, appreciate it.
We've already called into the Inquisition about what we're doing, and Versailles knows what's going on as well. He specifically told us to go on reconnaissance. We're hoping to not engage with anything, but we need everyone on board. Tank crew's heading back. Stealth isn't really
There's strong
a
suit.
thing.
Not in a tank, no. Alright. Yeah, I'll get everyone there safe and sound.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's like running a daycare. I had to split up Lace and Boulard. Oh yeah, funny story I'll tell you about later.
Oh? How
Later.
come you get to have all the fun?
Because you ditched me and decided to go running after a Habho.
I didn't ditch you. You helped me go after the Habbo. I don't
That's
want to
true.
hear it.
I did, but you still ditched me. Should have brought me.
You said that you wanted to run intel.
I did, and I did. I did successfully run into it. I
It's
also
not
sorted
ditching
out.
you if you would rather do the thing.
Listen, I sorted out workplace drama, and don't think I've forgotten about your "oh, she doesn't like twinks" comment earlier.
All evidence points to.
You being exceedingly dense at times. Yes, I agree.
Hey, listen, I hope you and the leggy janitor get along fine.
Listen,
Let me know how that works, because I'm
Listen.
very curious.
listen. Just because you're a thembo all the time, doesn't. I don't know. I don't know how
Okay.
to flirt. I don't know how to do any of that. We're not talking about this now. We're talking about this later.
This bears a question. Are you two on a private line with each other?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
They did switch over.
Okay. All right.
So she's Riven is just sitting there gesturing like wildly, and saying this out loud, of course.
Oh, mm-hmm. Whereas Flux is, once again, for one of the only times of this game, driving normally. And just kind of sitting there with a smirk on their face. Just,
I can only assume someone thinks something is wrong with that.
We are all going to die. Flux is amused at something.
Flux is just
that
now
did
leaning
not
back.
act. That did not. Yeah, that did not happen.
Someone so smart, you can be exceedingly dense at times.
I'm sorry, is it supposed to be straightforward how the whole, like, tentacle thing works?
Hey, look. That is. How do you know about that?
I gotta.
I'll be right back again.
Okay.
Who are your sources? How could you?
It's a janitor. You think they don't have tentacles?
Oh, never mind. No, you don't know what I'm talking. Okay, this will be a fun conversation later.
The moment. It's like, oh, you're actually full of shit. Okay, no, hold on. We'll talk about this.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Yeah, that's fine. Listen, Flux, you can hold me in any way that you want.
Ooh, woo.
Right. I think I need to get more than void tape then.
Fair.
I'll put that on the shopping list.
Unless you're just gonna tie me up and ditch me.
I didn't ditch you. You said you wanted to stay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Fine. It's still.
I just imagine everybody in the other Taurox is just staring at Riven right now.
Absolutely, they fucking are.
They're all just like Lace just has an eyebrow raised. Him and
Listen, at this point, Lace and I are
Lanewald.
bros, so he can
No,
deal.
Lace and Lanewald both just have eyebrows raised. Feely is just red
Feely
faced.
doesn't understand what any of it means.
No, of course not.
Yeah, Feely is just red faced, staring at anywhere except Riven.
Oh, I could see that.
This
Yes.
just in, Feely's the kinkiest of them all.
I would believe that.
I would believe it. Yeah.
It's the quiet ones you gotta look out for.
That's why he's all red faced, because he's just thinking about all the things he likes and feels very awkward about that people are talking about things like this.
You know, he really, really just has an embarrassment kink. That's how
Maybe.
it goes.
Oh, but then we're feeding into it without knowing about it. That's a different conversation.
But yeah,
Anyway, so I drive.
takes,
Remind
I'd
me
say
to
it takes
highlight
about,
this later.
so it probably takes you about 40 odd minutes to head to the rendezvous, heading in a direct line rather than the meandering route the other team was following to get where they were. And yeah, you pull into. I assume you've tried to find somewhere that isn't like right out in the open Flux,
Yeah.
like the lee
Oh.
of some rocky outcrop or something.
Very much yes. Stealth. Stealth is good.
Yeah, you can see a large spar of rock jutting out of the ground, and sitting in its shadow is the other Taurox, a faint heat haze rising from its engine block.
Alright, so what are we looking at then?
Hugh, about how far away would you say we are from the location?
If you're trying to stay out of the range of potential spotters and aerial support, you've got to be at least maybe 20 miles away.
Okay. What is the terrain?
Fairly open ground, broken up by large rocky outcrops and plateaus. It seems to be sloping slightly downwards towards the south.
And the location that's meant to be met up at. Is it shield outside of the outcrop that we've kind of brought ourselves to? Is there anything between us and that location that would work as a place to get a long distance view from? Because we do have
Wanna
the
get a-
binoculars now that we've got the second Taurox.
Give me an awareness roll. Right. Yeah, looking out over the landscape, you can see a couple of spars of rock and a few plateaus. You're not entirely sure exactly where the coordinates are marking based on just eyeballing it, but you can see a few. There's a particular spar of rock that juts out from the cleft between two step-like plateaus that, if you were willing to climb it, would give you a pretty much unobstructed view for miles around.
Right. Everyone break up into your squads as usual and stay on the comm. Packard, Agril, Bullard, Riven. Who else do we have with a sniper rifle?
Lamewald actually gave a rifle to someone. Let me check the document.
Actually, scratch that. Yeah, Flux will just kind of wave their hand. Actually, and apologies, Riven, Packard, and me will go. The fewer people, the less chance of being spotted. The Tauroxes are fairly hidden here. I want everyone ready to move if something goes wrong.
Sounds good.
Who else has a sniper rifle? Though that was a relevant
Lamewald
question.
gave the rifle to Harlan.
Harlan could stay here with the sniper rifle, keeping an eye on us.
Yeah. Would Harlan be able to get a view to at least the edge of the outcrop so that someone could like wave a hand if something went wrong?
He can see almost the entire outcrop
Oh, excellent.
from where you are.
Yeah.
Also, we have servo skulls. Feel like could always operate the array.
Yeah. Let's hold off on the servo skulls for now.
Mhm.
If we can at least get us there with the scopes, we should be able to get what's going on. We'll keep on comm with the rest of the squads. Nualia, you take squad 1, and Fremt, you'll second for her.
Fremt gives you a nod. Says, "It'll be an honor working with you, sister."
And with you, Fremt.
As per usual, Lanewald, you got your group. We are going to try to remain as stealthy as possible. If something goes down, we want to get out rather than engaging. And now might be a good time to start your thing. Flux is just going to kind of wave a hand at Nualia.
Yep. Give me a second. I'm gonna look up a thing.
All right.
Oh, I had a bunch of catechisms a second ago. Where the fuck did they go? Catechisms or catechisms?
Catechisms.
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 Thank you.
Latin has no CH sound.
Ah, understood.
I want to say a thing, but you might smack me for it.
Well, alright, it doesn't use CH as a CH sound.
Oh, no, nothing to do with that.
Benefits of him being in a different country.
Yeah, but he's still mean. Can I say a thing?
Or
In terms of role-playing the praying thing, generally speaking, original work is seen as better role-playing.
Oh, absolutely. There's plenty that I could do, but I don't feel that I as a player know enough about how these prayers to work to really pull off anything.
Just just say what's in your heart about your love for the Emperor or whatever.
Genuinely, that'll get you better results than reading any, structured catechism in terms of roleplay.
Yeah.
feel free to experiment with it. I mean, there are endless varieties of cultures in the Imperium that all have their own ways and styles of prayer and what have you. There's no set way to do it at the end of the day. There's just the classical Gothic Neo King George style that most of 40k goes with. But that's just because we've all been raised Anglican because it's a British company.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I will go with this one, and as Mason, you're muted.
I muted myself despite having fucking push to talk on. Nice. I was saying a second ago, if you need help with that, I played a character who did a lot of stuff like that, and I could make it up on the spot, so I kind of have a decent idea how to pull it off.
No, I'm good. It's the start that I think I need just this little... I've got something here, this start going into the mission, quote-unquote, was where I needed help. But I think once the situation goes on, I'll have better ideas on how to change the prayer.
Oh, corpse god on the golden toilet.
Make sure you, make sure you write it down so that you can observe it for later.
Oh yeah. But yeah. I'll do this one. The Fede Imperialis. A spiritu dominatus, domine libera nos, from the lightning and the tempest, our emperor deliver us. From plague, deceit, temptation, and war, our emperor deliver us. From the scourge of the kraken, our emperor deliver us. From the blasphemy of the fallen, our emperor deliver us. From the begetting of demons, our emperor deliver us. From the curse of the mutant, our emperor deliver us. A morte perpetua, domine libera nos, that thou wouldst bring them only death, that thou shouldst spare none, that thou shouldst pardon none, we beseech thee, destroy them. and she'll be
No.
repeating that slowly. And yeah, as I said, as the situation continues and develops, I'll have a better idea of how to switch that up.
I don't know if you remember, but that's the same prayer the sisters took you through at
Mhm.
Strongpoint Gamma.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the rest of the squad bow their heads. You can see Feely mouthing along with the words. I keep forgetting his name. For fuck's sake, Cleft. He makes the sign of the Aquila, bows his head, and intones the prayer alongside you.
But yeah, she will have... Yeah, after that bit of prayer before going into the mission, she will turn to, I guess, follow Flux to do the recon, mostly providing backup and staying further away.
Stay here.
Stay here. Okay. So providing backup if you call for it.
Yep.
Okay. Then yeah, she's basically just going to keep reciting that, and she's just going to be holding her las gun close.
All right.
Not the heavy las, the las carbine. I will specify that.
Fair enough. All right then, Flux and the scouting party.
Go.
Are you guys being stealthy in your approach?
Yes. Definitely.
If I may, we're
Oh,
4
yes,
minutes to
it is
break.
just on our break.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, we will come back to the scouting party after our break. It's a half hour bio break, drinks, food, bathroom break, whatever you need. We will return.
I will be back. I need to go and feed my dog and walk him. So yeah. See you in a bit.
E. You want to know what apparently is really hard to find? Names of military architects. I've been trying to fucking look some up because I'm in the game I'm doing on Sunday. In Berlin. There's a Lord Architect, and I'm trying to find someone notable, and I have not found a single name for anyone who built anything in World War One.
Well, I mean, much like uniform design, it would probably have been a commercial public architect that was hired to do the work. Because it was Versace and Coco Chanel that made the SS uniforms.
I mean, I get that, but that's what I'm looking. I'm looking up specific fortresses now to see if, like, I was looking up the Fortress Dumont or whatever it's called, the one in Verdun, the big one. I was trying to see, who designed that. I put that in Google, and it's just like, yeah, Fort Dumont's a place. What else do you need? And I'm like, what the fuck? There's no accrediting? What's happening here? You figured that'd be important. At least a little bit. I don't know, maybe I'm just bad at Google searching.
No, I guess people just don't really record that sort of thing. Maybe it's just a low-level functionary within the military that designs it based on some pre-assigned doctrine.
I suppose so. At this point, I'll just pick what I was first doing. There's like a bunch of like modernist architects from Germany I found, so I can just pick one of them and say they did something different. Albert Speer was among the things that I saw, and I was like, he'd be too young, and I'm not super keen on using someone who is very much a Nazi as Is a person in the power structure of this place I'm making up?
That is fair.
So you get to watch me put drops in my ear. Prepare yourself. Alright, it's time for sideways head time.
Enjoy.
I don't. I swear, I'm pretty sure this shit isn't actually even reaching my fucking eardrum at this point. I think something about the canal either stops it from getting there or it's getting absorbed. It's kind of annoying. Or maybe I just expected faster results and I'm not getting them.
That's often an issue with medical treatments. People don't see immediate results, so they give up.
Yeah. I mean,
Or
I've been
in some
using it
cases,
exactly
if
as
you-
specified.
In some cases, if you're particularly unlucky, certain treatments actively make you feel worse for a bit before they start improving.
Yeah. At least I haven't had that problem with this. It's just been nothing really. No difference.
Here, they just shove a tube in your ear and pump pressurized water into it.
They actually did that to clean out the wax in my ear because that's what was making my other ear not able to hear. And then when they looked at my right one, it's like, oh yeah, this one's infected, by the way. It's like, oh.
Ah well, infections run their course eventually.
Yeah. It's the first one I've ever had in my ear, and I guess it doesn't even hurt or anything. It's just annoying. It completely muffles all the sound from my right ear.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Have you seen the new Aliens game?
No, I haven't.
The third-person Left 4 Dead style shooter called Aliens Fireteam Elite. Actually doesn't look terrible.
Is it out?
Not yet. Comes out on the 24th.
Hmm. Hopefully it doesn't go the way of Colonial Marines.
It's been getting some good preview reviews. And I've seen a few people playing
Alright.
it. It doesn't look bad, honestly. Like, it's very curated clips of specific segments, so you can't really tell, like, how the course of a whole match goes. But it looks pretty decent.
I dig that. Although I do have kind of a I don't know, I feel weird about alien stuff because it's like it's always seems to go one of two ways. Either there's a bunch of them and they're super easy to kill, or there's one of them and no one can fucking touch it, which makes it really weird to
They're
deal
going
with.
for a halfway point. There are 26 different alien types that you will encounter, and they range from the standard, which are middling tough, fairly fast, leap out of vents in large groups, like the Aliens movie Aliens.
Mhm.
Then there's like the special ones, which are like the Left 4 Dead special zombies. There's the Prowler, which will attack you from a vent, knock you down, do the whole like hunter thing, and then will disappear into a vent and come back at you from a different angle. But then there's, aside from like the unique ones that crop up rarely, there's also different variations of the standard ones. There's some that explode when they get close. There's some that spit instead of coming at you. So there seems to be decent variety in what you're facing, rather than just one unkillable thing that you have to run away from, or an endless swarm of pointless ones that doesn't feel like a challenge.
Okay, that sounds at least like it half decent.
Yeah, like when I saw the release trailer, I was like, this could be garbage. But everything I've seen from there has addressed the things that I thought could be a problem, like the enemy design. The weapon design was something I thought could be a problem because that's often garbage in Alien games. But everything seems pretty punchy and weighty, and ammo is more of the restriction than the effectiveness of your weapon. They even included the splash of getting sprayed by acid that seems to be linked to where the animation of the acid actually hits, rather than just randomized in like a big block around where the animation goes off.
Hmm.
They actually seem to have put some effort in, and pools of acid on the floor will do acid damage as well. There's destructible environments, elements change. It doesn't look like it's an amazing, groundbreaking, world-changing game, but it looks decent.
It looks like someone actually gave a shit.
Yeah, like it looks like the devs actually cared and tried to make a decent game and weren't being micromanaged by an abusive publisher.
Hmm.
Though then again, it is a Focus Home interactive game, and Focus are at least fairly good at not fucking with their devs too much.
I don't actually know that group by name. What have they made?
Focus Home Interactive have made. Let's have a look at their page. Well, they made all the Farming Simulator game. Well, they published all the Farming Simulator games. But they published Greedfall. They published Vampire, The Surge.
Wait, the OG Vampire? The Masquerade?
No, not Vampire the Masquerade. Vampire with a Y.
Oh.
It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad either. They published Necromunda Hired Gun, Necromunda Underhive Wars, all of the fucking 40k games, effectively.
I heard Greedfall and I was like, I don't know, that doesn't sound good. I don't remember that game well.
Greedfall wasn't a bad game. It just wasn't an amazing game either. It was okay. Its story wasn't anything groundbreaking, but it was decent. Its mechanics were a bit clunky, but they played well enough. Like, it wasn't something I'd recommend someone go out and buy this second, but it wasn't a bad game. And the devs that made it, Spiders, are currently making a Clockwork Punk Parisian Dark Souls-esque game.
Is that what you showed me the other day?
Well, that was Liza P, but I did mention this one. It's called Steel Rising. You play as Mary Antoinette's bodyguard robot, and Louis the 16th has gone mad and unleashed an army of robots on Paris. It looks interesting. Like,
okay,
Spiders has a habit of making clunky games, but they're games with heart. They could do with hiring a few more experienced gameplay design specialists, but aside from that, they're pretty writers. Their writers aren't terrible. I think they just need some room to stretch their legs. If Steel Rising turns out good, then I have confidence they'll continue to improve.
All right. I dig that.
I'm probably going to buy it either way, because I love Souls-like games, and I'm a sucker for them.
I like Souls-likes. When From Software's the one doing it. I haven't liked very many that weren't that.
Mortal Coil is the only Souls-like not made by FromSoft that I would personally recommend. It's actually a decent game. It's small, It's very compact. It's not a very long game. It doesn't go on for hours like Dark Souls does. But what's there is
Yeah.
good. It's well made. It's got a decent combat system that's full of depth, complexity, and variety. Its variety is a little limited, and its combat mechanics are a little unforgiving. But overall, it's not a bad game.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you something that kind of bugs me recently about games. There's a lot of games which are just Metroidvanias, but people like to call them Souls likes. And I'm like,
Some
yeah.
of them earn the
They're
title.
like,
Many of them don't, though.
yeah.
Like
It's like,
Hollow Knight, I would say, earns the title of Souls-like because it gets the mentality of how Dark Souls tells its stories and ties that in with gameplay. But like Ender Lilies or Sultan Sanctuary, they're platformers with a Dark Souls skin. Which
yeah.
isn't necessarily a bad thing. If people are into that sort of game, then good for them. I enjoy it. It's not a bad game, but it's not quite a Souls-like. It doesn't quite get the intertwining of lore and mechanics that Dark Souls is known for.
Yes.
Like,
I need to go
You-
back and
you
play
could
the old
write-
fucking Metroidvania games.
you could write full-on fucking PhD-worthy doctorates on the game design of Dark Souls. Like, you wouldn't necessarily get anything valuable out of it, but you could do it. There's a lot of work that's been put into it, and I do think a lot of the stuff they've done in Dark Souls either was unnecessarily complex, really fucking weirdly presented, or didn't necessarily give the feeling they were intending it to give. But as a holistic whole, it comes across very well.
I agree. Although I guess I'll
Have
just
been improving
flat out admit,
consistently with each of their games. Each one they produce has been a definite step forward, and I think that's the key point of game design. Producing a bad game isn't necessarily the end of your career. It's if you improve on it that matters.
yeah. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure, at the very least, I'm definitely not the greatest judge of it. Mostly because my playing of the games, I never really focused on what was going on. It was kind of like, I don't know.
did. I
It
fucking
was
loved
really
Dark
weird. It's
Souls.
like I
world
liked
and-
learning about it afterwards, but not in the middle of it.
I loved picking up new items, reading their lore, piecing together what was going on in an area. I would scour maps. The only map I did not run from top to bottom on my first time entering it was the fucking swamp, because that can go to hell.
They always do. They always can. There's no good swamp.
Yeah, the swamp is a fucking nightmare. Getting poisoned for walking around is not fair, especially when they throw enemies that can see you from further away than you can see them. That's cheating from Soft.
The only one that did that at least kind of right was Dark Souls 2, and that's because there really wasn't a swamp in the first place. There's like a gas zone.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways you can do it, and FromSoft's been experimenting all the way. I'm really looking forward to Elden Ring. I do want to see what they do with that. The idea of an open world Dark Souls is intriguing.
Agreed.
Like, it could be done
I
horribly,
mean,
but I have confidence that FromSoft know what they're doing, and I think they could pull off something really good with it.
I feel like I don't know. The way I feel like what'll happen is that you'll probably have a situation similar to Sekiro, which I would consider at least kind of open world, a little bit. it's not as you know, running over hills to get to places and shit. But you have free reign to move to whichever part you want, besides places you don't have like items for. I figure they'll do something similar, just with a larger map scale
Well,
and probably more boss gates.
so they've actually given us a little more details on exactly what they're doing. And from what I understand from reading the various interviews, each of the previous games has effectively been a prototype for ideas that they want to implement in the next. And Sekiro was a prototype for larger map spaces and more variety of options for exploring them. So what they're doing is taking the larger map design of Sekiro, creating key areas built around that concept, and then connecting them with an overworld that you travel through that has events going on in it. And some of these events will be tied into how you interact with these other slightly more closed off areas. But in theory, there shouldn't be any loading screens, but I don't know if they'll do like building interiors. I'm not entirely sure how they're going to do that. They haven't really told us. But they have shown that there will be things like a convoy of large carriages being pulled by giants moving through the overworld that you can attack for some reason. Maybe to loot them, maybe because it's part of some ongoing quest. We don't know, but they exist, and we assume they're probably going to be semi-procedural or time-based. And we also know there will be roving world boss type things. There was a giant rock colossus with a bell hanging underneath it on 4 legs that was roaming around a little kind of arena area.
That does sound pretty cool. My hope is that it doesn't get like super gamey with that, and it's hopefully a little more organic, natural. Like
I hope so.
it's one of those things. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like I worry that they'll exist only to become like resource farming, and you'll just find fucking guides for how to hunt that shit down.
So, from the looks of it, loot will not be the go-to. You won't be getting weapons from these things. They're still going to be doing the same Dark Souls method of finding and upgrading weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Presumably that applies to armor as well. So at least that can be removed from the equation. I think the thing that it hinges on is how they do quests and quest markers and how you're directed to do things. Because they've never done that in a Souls-like before. They sort of did it with Sekiro, so maybe they were using that as a template for how they could go about that. We'll have to find out at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But 22nd of January.
If they if they do anything that like makes pathing on a map, it better be good because I'm fucking tired of games that make like super inefficient or broken fucking pathings that get you confused.
I think generally speaking, a better option is a kind of compass system that points you in the general direction and then lets you encounter things on the way. The way Ghost of Tsushima did it was a really cool, very beautiful kind of idea because it's the wind that shows you where to go.
Yeah,
that's really nice. I liked that.
That was good. God, that was a pretty ass game.
I'm pretty happy. It was very beautiful. I loved the art style. I'm just really disappointed it was a PlayStation exclusive because I want to play it.
Yeah. It was. I played it. It was pretty fun, but it's really easy.
Yeah, but I mean that's not necessarily what it's going for. Like, it's not trying to be as hard as a Souls-like. It wanted to tell a story, and honestly, it's a story I really wanted to fucking play.
It was okay. I liked it decently enough.
It's not something we see very often. There aren't a vast number of games that like delve into Japanese history and politics that the Western gaming market regularly gets their hands on in a way that we apparently enjoy versus the traditional Japanese versions of games, which apparently don't do as well here for some reason.
I think it's usually just because it's a lack of general knowledge on the topics, and
I mean,
probably
I'm sure
just
I'm sure that's part of it. I kind of think that it's largely a mechanical thing. Like, we've been brought up on a very specific set of gameplay standards. Like, first person shooters, third person action games, those are our staple. Whereas Japan was in from the very early days, they were at the forefront of game development. So they've always lent more towards two-dimensional scale games that have just been updated with more advanced graphics but still utilize similar mechanics, like JRPGs and platformers, which isn't like
Yeah.
a dig on either side. It's just a difference in priorities. They're more used to one system and we're more used to the other.
Yeah. Back on the topic of Ghost of Tsushima, though, just as a, yeah, I'll just do a quick like minor critique of the story. It wasn't bad as like a historical fiction type thing. It had the elements it needed to be. It had the real stuff, and then it kind of had an issue with making people not really act like people. In certain regards, it was really glaring towards the end of the game, with basically two characters, that being your guy's uncle, who kind of became brainless for a little bit out of nowhere, and the reason was honor. I did it because that's honorable. You're honorable, right? And then the bad guy was like, "You and I are one and the same. Fucking, you should join me." Even when he was actually like being relatively interesting before that, and there was kind of a pseudo subplot of, "Hey, I'm gonna usurp Kublai after this," and then that kind of gone.
Unfortunate.
Yeah,
Happens to a lot of games though, I find. The end doesn't get quite the attention it needed.
ironically, the very end had cool stuff. It was just that the build up was fucked up, and you kind of had to suspend yourself to like the good actual good part of the ending,
Well,
I was able to do. I thought it was nice.
Have you watched many like classical Japanese samurai movies? They do that a lot, I find. I don't know if it's just that I've been watching a very specific set of movies or if it's like a commonality to all of them, but the ones I've seen, there is nearly always a scene where I ask myself, why on earth are you doing this? And the answer is almost always honor. And I'm not sure if it's because I'm not understanding the Japanese concept of honor, which is entirely possible because they do have a very unique conceptualization of how honor applies to personhood and family and what have you. But it also could just be that these are exploitation movies that are made to over exaggerate and exemplify certain features that they think are popularly appealing. Could be a bit of both. I'm not entirely sure, but it is something I've seen a lot.
Usually, when someone does something I think is stupid, and it's an honor thing, as long as it only involves themselves, I don't care. I'm like, okay, you're an idiot, but you know what? That's your business. You're letting it happen to you. Okay, cool. That's fine.
That's fair.
But now, my issue was that the guy in the game Honored, involved multiple people that weren't him and got them killed. And I was like, where's the honor in that?
Well, I mean, you can say the same
Just
about a lot
like
of
what?
You can say the same about a lot of ancient European battles. Like, there were plenty of battles in Britain that were fought in the name of honor, where nobody won and had no victor, were completely stupid and pointless fights that were done entirely in the name of honor. I mean, I'm pretty sure we've lost like 2 kings to honor battles.
It's usually not a matter of why it was fought. It was an action taken. So I'll basically just describe to you it's not that important. Okay? So basically, what happened is they needed to cross a bridge to get at the enemies at some point. And they were doing great up until then, completely taking this castle. Awesome. Swift. So when they get to this bridge, that's very clearly booby trapped on the other side. You know, flaming barrels, oil, shit. The guy is like, yeah, go get him. You got this, guys, right? And then the guys are like, yeah. And they run across the bridge and they fucking explode. And it's like they're blind. It's like, what are you doing? Are you joking?
Happened a lot.
What is this?
That's happened a lot in real world history.
What?
Well, I mean, the Battle of Bosworth Hill, for example. King Harold ordered his cavalry to charge through a fucking swamp, which went about as well as you expected. Or the charge of the Light Brigade. That's a classic. They rode headlong into cannon fire because they got their messages mixed up.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Especially in times before
fuck.
radio, communication is so difficult on a battlefield that mistakes happen almost constantly.
I guess so. I guess the difference between that and what I'm looking at is that there wasn't a communication error.
Well, I mean,
I guess, and that's why it puts me off.
Well, I mean, like the Battle of Bosworth Hill, that's just a stupid order.
Yeah.
The only reason
like-
we won that battle, quote unquote, won, we technically beat more of the French than they beat of us, but we still retreated from the hill, so I don't know if you can really call that a victory. And our king died, so. But still, the only thing that saved the cavalry at that battle was a younger lord who was captain of the cavalry just overrode the king's orders and rode in with his elite cavalry and dug them out of the fucking swamp so that they could retreat and be more effective. And that's happened over and over again in history. Like, people make some really stupid choices in the heat of battle, and I mean, in some cases you can understand it. Like, a lot of people thrown into into leadership positions during like the Middle Ages and feudal periods tended to be the sons of nobility who hadn't necessarily had like an education in warfare or been in a war. They'd just been given the position due to birthright and had some kind of training on the side that, in theory, prepared them, but nothing can really prepare you for the fucking chaos of a pitched battle.
Yeesh.
But I mean, some of them don't have that excuse. Some of them are long-term veterans that just made stupid choices.
I guess so. I guess I'm way too used to hearing about the shit that went right and then I fucking got confused about fucking people doing stupid shit.
Statistically, wars can generally be measured in 1 or 2 successes that are then repeated over and over again, to which the enemy fails to adapt. Like, Verdun is an example. Verdun proved the pattern for how to break the enemy trench lines. And then we just repeated that across the line over and over again with the French. And the Germans just couldn't adapt in time to take the shock of us disrupting their supply lines and breaking their front lines. So they had to keep falling back and trying to rebuild new lines, and we kept pushing. And that was the key to success. One clever idea that cascaded into a bunch of others.
Well done.
But I mean, that's usually how it goes at the end of the day. especially these days in warfare, it's not about being smarter than your opponent, it's about having more guns. No one engages unless they have, like, double numerical superiority if they can help it. Because that's just the smart way to fight at this point.
I am back.
Yeah, what else can you do? Welcome back.
Thank you.
I'm also back.
Hello, back. I am also back.
Boo. Hiss.
Daddy
I
is
wonder.
doing jokes.
I wonder if things would at all be different if like Sun Tzu's like Art of War was like a super accepted thing for those guys, because I feel like a lot of them could have benefited from at least having looked at it.
Oh yeah, definitely. A lot of medieval warfare could have benefited a huge amount from reading Sun Tzu. But I mean, some of Sun Tzu's core teachings are things like always attack with numerical superiority. Don't be afraid to retreat. Honor isn't worth death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of make
Again.
sure that if you're going to fight in a place that is advantageous to you, not them.
Yeah, I mean, it goes into fantastic detail and explains things in very beautiful lyrical ways. But at the end of the day, it does boil down to use every superiority and overwhelming advantage you can get. That is the key to winning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Win without fighting, etc., etc. It's great. It's too bad people like, yeah, he's great, and then China just kept breaking to pieces and no one did anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
He'd probably be turning in his fucking grave.
I tried to read The Art of War. It's hefty.
Mm-hmm.
Takes a lot to process.
It is a massive book with a lot of details to say a little bit.
I mean, he says them in ways that express it in a way that you can't do without a lot of words. And that's beautiful and fascinating. But it does make it hard to read.
Yes.
So I understand why a lot of people, especially in the Middle Ages, when it would cost a literal fortune to get an actual book made of this shit.
And
Like,
even
I can
then,
understand why most
probably.
people didn't bother to actually read the damn thing.
I mean, how many people even fucking knew about it in the first place? Half of them probably thought China was a mythological place.
Actually, trade from China has been fairly commonplace for a lot longer than the Western world used to think. We found evidence that indicates China had been trading with the Middle East and the Middle East onto Europe for hundreds of years, since like around 0-ish BC, give or take a couple of hundred years. We just didn't know. We just thought it was all Arab shit that we were buying because we were ignorant idiots.
So that's what I'm saying.
So nothing's changed.
It's like, is that none of the fucking people knew about fucking China or didn't care
It
to
was
know.
common knowledge that among the nobility that China existed. It just wasn't common knowledge what China was like. Like, no one really knew if the caricatures and art they had were realistic or actual depictions. I'm sure many of them believed that they were, and most of them were probably horrifyingly exaggerated and nonsensical. But they were at least aware of the concept of China.
I dig
But
that.
yeah,
Random thing I just noticed. So on my Twitch creator dashboard, it tells me I have an activity feed of like who followed, who donated, yada yada yada. The last two people that donated on here are people that I know from my return to Twitter. However, in Streamlabs, and keep in mind the most recent one of those was 4 days ago. In Streamlabs, I have a bunch of follows over the past 3 days from Manolia Uwu, Manolia Meow, Manage Me, Manolia Kit Kat, Manolia Lunar, whole bunch of very obvious bot profiles, and I'm wondering why that didn't show up on my creator dashboard.
we Twitch caught them.
Maybe. Yeah, my follower count didn't actually raise from any of those, so Twitch might have actually caught them, like might have gotten
That'd be cool.
word of them. I mean,
Maybe their algorithms are actually learning.
that's
I
pretty
think it's
impressive.
more people have taken to Twitter pointing out that bot raids are actually just getting worse. There's a few channels who, over the past course of the past 3 days, have gotten hate raided 6 times.
Yeesh.
Yeah, and this is multiple accounts, or multiple streamers who have been hate rated that many times or more, from what I've seen. And so yeah, they're just getting worse. So people have taken to Twitter to demand that Twitch do better. And maybe that's finally getting some fucking attention.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Okay, here's Hugh. Quick hypothetical for you.
Yeah.
Say you had the ability to give radio tech to any country in the Middle Ages, any part of the world, doesn't matter. Who would you give it to? And who do you think would best utilize it?
Who would you give it to, and why is it North Korea?
I mean,
To be honest,
That's
wait,
it really wasn't a North Korea then.
No, I know.
I don't even remember when did Choreo even come about? I don't even remember.
Yeah, Korea. I don't know much about their history.
comparatively, it's a recent nation,
Mhm.
split off from China and Japan.
That's
Like,
that's
of
what I
the-
thought. Because
Well,
Yeah. It's
weren't
definitely one of the newer ones.
I'm trying to remember? Does Korea have any relation to the Nanman province, or is Nanman actually in China?
Good question.
I don't remember. I just know that there was briefly a kingdom called Koryo in the area,
Mhm.
and it was invaded by Japan at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, we can return to that discussion after the game, but for now, we will return to our session.
Okay.
But that is an
Dang.
interesting question. I'll have to think about it. I'm not actually sure.
No problem. I'm glad I provided a good question.
But yeah, we return as the scouting party heads forth. Can Riven, Agrotrom, and Flux give me stealth rolls?
Wait. I didn't realize that. I thought it was just me and Packard and Flux.
Yeah,
That's everyone. I thought everyone
No.
was going out to stuff.
it's just the snipers.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're
just Flux, Riven, and Packard. Alright then.
yeah. The stealthy people are doing the recon, and all the rest of us are hanging back, waiting to see if shit goes down.
Goddamn Packard.
He's either amazing or he's not. I mean, he still did pretty good,
Yeah.
but yeah.
You head out, trying to keep low. You make your way from small patches of trees to the lee of rocks and outcrops. Eventually making your way to the foot of a short plateau with a rocky spar jutting out of it about 12 or so meters high. What are you doing?
We're going to set up with the scopes and see what we saw with the meetings.
Yes, you are currently standing at the foot of a plateau that is about maybe 3 meters tall, with a large spar of rock jutting out of it a further 12 odd meters.
We were going to climb to the top to the vantage point you had said we could get to.
Alright then.
Hey Flux, do you still have your grappling hook?
I don't know.
You did. Have a grappling
We
hook at one
we
point,
would have
right?
we would have gotten it back to you, because we did dig it out. You know, we would not have left that behind.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would assume you could have grabbed it before you left.
Yes.
Cool. Can I borrow that for a second?
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna take the grappling hook and fire it at the top.
Go ahead and give me a ballistic skill roll.
3.
Alright. It arcs upward, sailing over the hook of this spar of rock. Loops over, you pull it taut, it catches on something, you give it a bit of a tug. It seems to be holding.
Alright, and then I'm gonna do the thing that I totally learned in Mechanicus school, shimmy up the rope.
Alright, go ahead and give me an athletics roll.
Sure. Super good at that.
Alright.
I literally have 2 dice. Like,
Yeah, you begin to climb. You get about 2 or 3 feet up and slowly start sliding down again. It's not that easy to do, especially with all your kit.
Alright. What you're gonna need to do is grab with both of your hands, wrap it around your foot, and around your knee. You're gonna pull yourself up a step, and you're gonna step on your foot, and you're gonna bend your knees, lock it in, and then go up another step.
oh, you're serious? I was expecting a joke.
Can I demonstrate?
Yeah,
BRB.
yes, of course.
I was asking
sort
you.
of- Oh,
But go ahead and give me a survival roll. Yeah, you do your best. It's the first time you've ever done it before, Ribbon. It's not the easiest thing to get the hang of first time round.
yeah. Came all this way to be defeated by a wall. Hmm. Can I? I don't even know. Let's see. Look at my skills. What do I have? Can I leadership the wall? No. Intimidate it. Oh, all right. Can I make an investigation check to see if there are any good, like, see if I can find any like natural footholds that I can maybe do to make this a little easier?
Go ahead and give me an investigation roll. 6 and a point of glory. Not bad. You can see a few ways that you could clamber up onto the plateau at the foot of the spar of rock, but you can't see any easy ways to climb up the spar itself.
Okay. Yeah, sorry everybody, I got noodle arms. If you two want to head up there, I can figure out a way up.
Yeah, sure. Folks will attempt to climb up.
And give me an athletics roll.
Nom nom chicken. Sorry, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Well,
You make your way up the rope, Flux, and it's difficult going. You're mostly climbing up the rope itself. The rocky outcrop is at a steep angle and doesn't offer many footholds for you to push off of. It's using a lot of upper body strength. You slip a couple of times, skidding a couple of feet down the rope before you catch yourself. But you are able to just about climb up to the top, crawling over onto the rock itself.
Just gonna set myself up then to watch.
Go ahead and give me an awareness roll.
And I am using the scope from my long last.
Packard struggles just as much as you to get up the rope, but he does reach the top with you. Oh, another point of glory.
Rip.
And I'm also trying to be fairly hidden.
Go ahead and give me a stealth roll then.
Would the
Goddamn little
Camilla line
arms.
help me at all here?
I would say yes.
Gonna reroll that.
Very nice. Very nice.
Alright, you wrap the cloak around you, blending in with the rocky outcrop. And as you sight through the magnoculars, peering around, at first you don't see anything on the ground that suggests enemy activity. You cast around a bit, and then a flicker of movement catches your eye. Not at ground level, but in the air above. Swinging up towards it, you zoom in a bit. You see a vehicle, about the size of your Taurox maybe, but it's moving through the air fairly fast. It's not flying right though. It's kind of drifting and slewing through the air.
Could I make a scholar to see if I can have any idea what this is?
Sure.
Can I try and make a survival check to hoist myself up with the rope?
I'm afraid that would still be an athletics roll.
Damn it. Just keep trying then.
Yeah, Flux, you've only ever seen one thing move quite like that. In the cargo bays of the ship that brought you here were large anti-grav loaders that floated on shimmering cushions of air generated by strange machinery. They moved in a similar way, but you've never seen anything quite like this.
Just gonna sit and watch.
Alright, 2 on athletics.
Finally, Riven, you are able to haul yourself up the rope. About as well as Flux and Packard did, to be honest, but you're able to clamber up alongside them. Takes you a moment to notice Flux, though, and that's only because you're right next to her, and the shimmering fabric of the Comedian Line cloak doesn't have quite the same texture as the rock.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go prod them on the shoulder. Just find anything good.
Something that looks like a hover car.
Imperial make?
Shrug.
Right. Alright. I'll probably get down like nearish next to them and take a look myself.
Alright, go ahead and give me an awareness roll. You're able to spot the thing easily enough with Flux pointing it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's strangely boxy. It's about maybe 100, 150 meters above the ground. It's definitely not a hovercraft.
Does
Riven,
Yeah.
you kind of recognize it. It's boxier than you recall, but
Uh-huh.
I'm going to post an image into chat.
Oh fuck.
It's strangely boxy though, but it has the same general silhouette as a Tau air car,
Oh fuck.
and it moves in the same way, though it looks like it's flying heavy.
Fuck. 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 Fuck.
For a second, I thought that was a Larry.
Fuck. Okay. Does it? Can I tell from where I am if it's particularly armed? You said it's an air car, right?
Yes,
Okay. Does it look armed? Would I know that?
it does. You can see a projection
Shit.
under the front that doesn't look Tau in design.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to tell at this range, but you'd say it looks similar to a heavy stubber. There's also a boxy turret sitting on the top of the back section, looking
I
out
don't
over
like
the
any
rear.
of that. Oh, I do not like any of this. All right.
Something about it though just doesn't seem right. It's too square, too heavy. It's like an imitation or a
Yeah.
retrofit.
Yeah, that's really bad. Is it okay? Is it? It's just kind of like floating around in the air.
Seems to be circling around roughly the area the coordinates indicated.
Okay. Is it? Okay. And this was, remind me, we had intercepted the signal, right?
You had intercepted a signal telling the people in the cave to go to these coordinates.
Okay, I think we should get a couple of the squad and go and meet them.
No. Our orders specifically are to watch what happens, get intel. We're not engaging in any way.
Oh. I hadn't heard any orders.
No, just open fire.
Okay, I guess I'm
Got a rocket.
gonna observe. I think Riven is extremely twitchy though.
Understandable.
As you watch the air car circling Riven, Flux, you turn your attention briefly back to the rough area of the coordinates. Just in time to see a flurry of dust as another of these strange boxy vehicles, much closer, a little bit closer than the other, easier to see as it's moving more slowly, drifts away out from behind one of the plateaus and begins to rise. You can see a red circle printed on the side with a black shape in it, very similar to the one on the jumpsuits that you photographed.
I'm gonna make sure I'm saving the video of this entire situation.
As you watch, it rises up into the air and is quickly followed by the first one, and the two head south rapidly. Much faster than it had been circling the area, they turn a surprising lick of speed. Eventually disappear from view.
I forget, we're the blue triangle on the map, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Packard kind of nudges you in the side, Flux. What the hell was that? I've never seen anything like those.
That is no longer our problem. We'll sit here for a bit, let them get away. Riven, I need you to make some things up in binary for me so we can send it back to command.
Yeah, sure, whatever you need. Fuck.
Have it translated and then I'll vox command before sending it over.
Okay.
And I will give Riven the photos that I took, the video of this, and the video of the original cave that we had explored.
Yeah, not hard to put it all on a data slate for Riven.
I love the idea of taking a photo and translating the entire thing into binary just in your head.
It'd be worse with the video.
Yeah.
Imagine going frame by frame through a video, translating tiny squares into words
Well, yeah, but
for each
the-
specific coloring thing.
the thing you're missing is that it's already in binary.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
simple.
that's true.
It just has to be
Just wait for
translated
Agric
into
to bust out his
auditory
iPhone.
binary.
Right.
Agro bust
Right.
out his iPod.
Yeah. What are you
Alright.
doing?
So if we're done here, yeah, I'm gonna just head back to the Torox, just fucking swearing under my breath.
The hell is Steve Squats?
You're able to make your way back to the Torox without much difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
Make
Yeah.
sure we bring the grappling gun with us.
Well, yeah, I
Yeah.
assumed I was the first one. Oh, we're all leaving together?
I mean, I assumed
Yeah, okay. No,
It's
that
not
makes total sense. Yes,
many
we'll take the
other
grappling gun then.
places to go.
Yeah, I'd say with a bit of effort you're able to detach the grappling hook, reel it in.
Fucking noodle arms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you return to the two Toroxes in the shadow of a rocky mesa. Both squads are loaded up and the Toroxes ready to go, but the back door is hanging open. Lanewold standing out the back of one, waiting for you. Any word, Sergeant Major?
Just some really weird hover cars. We're gonna wait for a bit. Riven's gonna translate something for me, and then we're gonna call it in.
What they look like, just cars that hover, or is there like a particular shape?
I don't want to
I
talk about
haven't
it.
seen anything like it before.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. She kind of just pushes past and goes to the. Do I need to be anywhere to do this translation, or I can just do it wherever?
You can do it wherever, honestly.
Oh, okay. Then I'm gonna go around the Torox, just kind of find some space and just get started.
Go ahead.
Excuse me. Sorry.
A little
Uh,
confused.
tech
at
roll.
that. Wonder what their problem was. It's just floating
Yeah,
cars.
takes you about 10 minutes, Ruben. Not hard.
Okay.
Packard just gestures. They were about the size of the Torox, I'd reckon. Big boxy things, but they floated in the air. Real weird, drifting like, wasn't flying proper.
Hmm.
Doesn't sound like standard administratum vehicles, that's for sure.
Not
I've never
standard
seen anything we've got like that. If we had fucking flying armored personnel carriers, I'd be a damn sight happier. They was armed too.
Oh,
Saw
well.
at least 2 turrets.
To be fair, Packard, we do have flying armored personnel carriers. They're called Valkyries.
Yeah, but they don't like float, do they? It's not
No, of course not.
I got trouble like look at Framp real quick and ask, is it okay to talk about other people's technology I'm vaguely aware of?
Frobsk gives you a long look, scratches his chin, finally says, under the circumstances, it seems we may be facing them head on, so any information is good information from here.
While you were
Alright, he shrugs. I think, okay.
while you were doing that,
Go ahead.
yeah, Nwali was just going to say, while you were doing that, Riven, can I also get copies of that? My people will also want to have that
Sure.
information.
Yeah, sure. She just hands the data slate back to Flux, and then just look, if you need me, I'll be.
I can't reproduce binary. I don't have the vocal cords for it.
Oh. All right.
You could plug the data slate into your Vox unit and run it off
Oh.
there.
I didn't know it could work like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll just hand them the data slate. Just look, if you need me, I'll be just out. I just need a second. And she just
Nwali.
turns around, walks away.
Nwalia is going to step up and just put a gentle hand on Riven's shoulder and say, I won't ask if you're alright. I think the answer to that is fairly obvious, but let us know if there's anything we can do to help.
Sure. I'll let you know. And then she just walks away.
Yeah. Agrotrum kind of back with the rest of we'll just sort of talk about. I've seen a couple of things that float. Usually it's Eldari things, although they're not boxy. They're usually kind of sleek, have some kind of force field going on. It's normally not even their normal kind that drive it, or at least that's what I remember. I don't know. Usually we were ordered to retreat when we saw those. The only other ones I know of belong to the blue people. I don't know what you call them.
Who? The Tau?
Is that what they're called?
Brant kind of sneers. The Tau Empire, and he does the air quotes. Yes, that is what they call themselves, and so far we haven't come up with a better name for them aside from Xenos.
Yeah, Agrotrum shrugs. I've seen a couple of those things, although I always remember being a little more concerned with what are they called, fire warriors. Those are some. I don't like to praise anyone, really, anyone other than me, but their rail armaments are quite sufficient at killing things. I can't fight that. I've seen one too many people die around me to it. Although they usually couldn't handle artillery fire afterwards. That was never really a retreat situation.
Artillery fire and artillery fire and a good sword was what I had heard was best against the Tau.
This is true, but in my experience, they're very capable with volley fire. Normally, I like to charge lines of gunmen, but even then I wouldn't do it because, unlike that, railguns blow through flak. It's really sad, to be honest.
I forget.
Even I can't handle that.
I forget. The Fire Warriors, are they officially using railguns or plasma at this point, like mini plasma?
Yeah. They use pulsed plasma weapons.
That's right.
Primarily, but their heavy weapons are railguns.
Yeah. I remember the heavy weapons having some of those. They are fucking devastating.
Yeah.
At this point,
it's really
takes
good
a
that
small
Riven's
step
not
forward.
here.
The technology of Xenos is strange and dangerous, certainly, but it is not any better than any technology we ourselves have. A well-placed bolt round is just as effective as a rail weapon, and we have grav technology of our own.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you one thing. I guess technically isn't combat related. Apparently they make good merchants. I don't know how this is. It's enough to where I've heard engineers get swindled by them. It is the weirdest thing. I don't know how these blue people figure that out.
Their watercast are apparently quite persuasive. It makes them a thorn in the side of many Imperial officers.
I wonder how many rogue traders get swindled by them.
Brunk. It's a very slight half grin off it though. More than they would like to admit, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
If it's any of the rogue traders I've met, usually swindling them does not go very well, even if you do succeed.
Possibly.
I
Yeah,
have known
many
one
times.
too many to employ quite larger forces than I would imagine a rogue trader would have.
Oh, certainly.
It's
I still imagine.
unpleasant.
I still imagine that a rogue trader would be more than a little hesitant to attack a Xenos planet on their own.
Planets? No. Ship groups? Sometimes. Although I did know one who was very keen to play Militarum. Didn't last long. Had one good campaign to his name, and where people with Rosariuses came around, and then suddenly the problem was gone. And that is all I know about that topic. Usually by then I'd be blacked out and then in another war somewhere else.
While this is going on, Flux, I assume you are transmitting the data to command.
Yep.
Yeah, you're connected with a box operator who takes a moment to set up the system to receive a data transmission. You send the file. It will take us some time to process the information, but I will let Commander Versailles know you've completed your objective.
Add a note to it. These vehicles that we're seeing, they were heading south when they left.
Noted. I will inform Command. There's a pause. About 2 or 3 minutes before there's a click and you hear Versailles' voice. News already. Haven't had time to process the images you've sent yet. Give me the rundown.
Floating cars of a make that I have no idea where they're from. Armored, but can't really recognize much. They were circling around the meeting point, and while we watched, they apparently got bored and fucked off to the south.
Out of curiosity, are you saying all this out loud or through your subvocal?
Further than even subvocal, Flux just does Vox shit in their head now.
Oh, okay.
Because
Fair.
they don't have to even do that.
Yeah, no, okay.
Base plugs are very useful. Yeah. Versailles pauses a moment. Says, that is concerning. I will have some scouts from the Navy do a flyby, see if they can spot these interlopers.
I also had our engine seer translate the other images and video, so those should be coming in as well.
Excellent. It will take some time for me to go over the new data, and I will have the Strategos see if they can pull up anything useful.
We'll be sending the data to the Inquisitors in the next few minutes. I assume, as long as they don't have other orders for us, you want us back at Karlsplatz?
Indeed. Return to your previous objective. We can consider this particular case closed as far as we are concerned. It's up to the Navy now.
Understood.
Next one shot is our three is our pilot group taking on these motherfuckers.
No thanks.
Could be.
Yeah, Flux will just unclip the data pad and lean over and hand it to Noelia. All yours. I need a backbone.
Of course, thank you. And well, let's see. The datapad has the images on it, right? Not just in binary.
Yes.
Looking at the cars, can I make a scholar roll on them?
Sure.
I think Irvin's
The
probably
images
lost track by
aren't
this point.
fantastic. It's effectively like someone has held a camera up to a pair of binoculars and taken a photo through them. So it's not
Yeah.
fantastic. But
Yeah. And I don't expect that I'm gonna know anything more than Flux would know, but I am actually going to wrath that. See if I can get better. There we go. 6.
All right. Yeah. The still images look very, as I said, boxy, but they have the rough silhouette of the kind of, have you ever seen those World War II recognition silhouette cards that they posted
Yeah.
about?
Yeah, I've seen those.
You probably went through similar things for various Xenos vehicles to learn basic identification, so you knew what you were up against. It has the same general silhouette of Towercraft. You can even see a distinctive little raised, squared-off kind of cabin area where you presume the pilot would sit that is very characteristic of Tau vehicles. But its markings, its general shape, they are very far from anything you had learnt in the Scholar or your time as a sister.
In before this is the
Tau.
this is the 4th expansion fleet.
But you can very definitely identify what appear to be 2 turrets, one on the front under the nose and one on the back at the top over the rear. You can safely assume there's probably a rear hatch, and that turret's designed to provide covering fire.
Yeah.
So I think at this point, Riven probably walks back in.
Yeah, Noali is gonna actually look at Frampt and say, Frampt, in the Imperial Infantryman's uplifting primer, are there any pictures or anything of that, of Tau vehicles?
Silhouette recognition charts, yes.
Do you mind if do you have a copy that I can borrow? Rather, I should ask, can I borrow your copy? I'm sure you have one.
I do indeed. And certainly, he reaches into his coat, pulls out a pristine copy of the Imperial Uplifting Primer.
No,
Rebacked in a hardback edition.
the only thing I want to know, is that book so pristine that it looks like it's never been opened?
No.
Okay.
You can actually see that there are well-worn creases, and the spine has has recently been replaced.
Okay.
You've due to a split down the back.
It is always great when like a street preacher or something pulls out a fucking Bible and it's never been fucking opened until that moment. But anyway, all right. You
should
should
make this easy for you.
say what?
I can make this easy for you. It's,
Huh?
it's called an air car.
You know of it?
Yeah. Well, I know what they're supposed to look like. Whatever this job is, someone either they picked up some tech they shouldn't have picked up, or someone got real lucky with their ideas. That shouldn't exist. Whatever that thing is. It's a perversion.
Judging by the people that we found in the cave, I would suspect that your first suspicion is correct. They likely have stolen tech that they should not have.
Yeah.
But here, please, come over and see more of this. Maybe you can certainly help, I think, in identifying differences.
Yeah, that sounds good. If they're people who made those things are human, I want to kill them myself.
if they are the same people as those we encountered in the cave, we'll have to kill them at the same time then. I think we both
Sounds
have
good to me.
personal stakes.
That sounds good to me.
But, yeah.
And yeah, she'll go over with Noelia.
And we'll compare the photos with the pictures in the primer as well as Riven's knowledge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you flip through to the back of the primer to the pages of silhouette charts. You find the one for the Tau.
There's like literally one page.
It doesn't match any of the known military vehicles, but there is a single entry under civilian or high-value target, which has something labeled as a dolphin, which roughly matches the silhouette.
I'm just imagine.
It's called an air car. I feel like Riven is just going through this list and just critiquing it. That's not what the nose looks like.
Nuali is like either taking notes or trying to keep Riven on track. A little bit of both.
This is great because I've already established myself as having Xenos taste. So
Yeah.
I give up nothing in this conversation.
Yeah, no, I mean, in this instance, we all have the same desires, which is to catch these motherfuckers and punish them, so it just works out. But yeah, so it resembles a dolphin. Is it a very close resemblance, or is it a kind of looks like it's been worked on?
Most Tau craft have a smooth, curved, organic shape to them.
Mm-hmm.
The photos of the vehicles in question have sharp corners and boxy armor plating.
Very human make. Then yes, I think we can. I think we
Are
can
there
safe.
Oh, sorry, Hugh. Were there any kind of like symbology on it that I would recognize?
That is a question I was going to ask as well.
No. None that Ribbon would recognize.
Okay, that's fine. That's
But
good. Helpful.
there is a red circle outlined in black with a black blurry shape on it that looks very much like the symbol on the jumpsuits.
Which I don't think I've seen. So that doesn't mean anything to me, but I know it's important to Noelia. So
Mm-hmm. Actually, have you heard that bit yet?
the player have.
Yeah, I meant Riven, but yeah,
I don't think so.
I don't think
Riven
so.
was translating the images into binary.
Yes.
That's true. You did go
She
through
would
the
have
images.
inherently
You would
seen
have
them.
seen the.
Oh,
the
alright,
Would have
yeah.
well, you would have seen the jumpsuits, but whether or not it was important to Noalia, I don't know.
Yeah,
if-
yeah, that's true. I have no idea.
The
Yeah.
Flux would have gotten a close up of just that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have seen the icon of a red circle outlined in black with a black stallion's head rearing.
Fuck is this? What is this? Is this an animal?
No, Noalia, just very slowly and with a lot of gentleness hands the pad to Riven for a moment and just says, I do not know what that animal is. All I know is that the people driving that are the animals who killed my sisters.
Oh, then they're absolutely dying. Okay. That's more than enough justification for me.
But yes, if you will hold that for a moment, I'm just going to attach my own Vox to it, but I think if I continue to hold the data slate, it would crumble.
Yeah. Wow, I'm gonna have to buff some of these marks out. But you know what? It's fair. I understand.
Thank you. And yeah, she will hook up her Vox.
Yeah, you run a cable to the data slate, plug it in, plug in the Rosarius, the familiar click, and then the voice. Report?
Sister Noalia reporting in. We did get orders to recon the heretic rendezvous. We did not engage, but we do have video and pictures, and we are sending those to you in binary now.
Well, stand by one moment. There's a couple of clicks over the box. The familiar sound of analog cables being plugged into an array. And send data.
Data is being sent. With all of this, we have also consulted with our Mechanicus liaison, and it does seem as though the craft featured in some of these pictures do seem to be of Heretech design as well.
Understood. We'll have these images analyzed. Expect a report in 1 hour.
Understood. I will be on standby for that. And yeah.
Very well.
She'll stay on the line long enough for the data to get sent, and do whatever else the interrogator has to say.
That's it. As soon as the data is received, there's a click and the line goes dead.
Nualia unplugs and goes, "Oh, damn it, I forgot to say they were going south." Well, HQ knows.
You can always call him back. I mean, I've still got the data slate. I'm not going anywhere.
No, he will call back in an hour. We will see. I imagine that they will have whatever information HQ has as well. Thank you, Riven.
You're welcome. This is a pretty fucked up situation.
Indeed. I cannot say that I expected to run into these people here.
Me neither. I mean, I have no idea who they are, but I'd certainly like to.
We'll have to see when, if we get another engagement. I may have to take a few alive, though. Not necessarily to turn in.
Yeah, I'd help you with that.
As Flux would say, it's a date then. Though certainly, I doubt with that same meaning.
What do you mean?
When you're older. She just pats you on the shoulder. No, joking. No. I imagine Flux was... If Flux has ever said that to you, Flux might actually have been asking you out on a date.
I know. I was also joking.
No, fair.
It's Mechanicus humor. It's very bad.
No, that is fair. As you can imagine, the Sisters of Battle, most orders do not have much humor within them.
I wonder which one of our groups has it worse.
Sort
of a fun question.
I don't know. I would say that out of all the orders, I likely had the easiest one to be in terms of keeping my emotions, but I am also a little biased in that.
So, we've talked a little. What made your order different than others?
Most of the Sisters of Battle, it's as the name implies. They are a military organization that works under the direct supervision of the Ecclesiarchy. We are here to go out and fight the heretics in places that might be more dangerous than standard militarum soldiers might go to. Or to back up militarum forces in areas of such danger. Our order was different in that we were not actually frontline combatants for the most part. We were hospitalers. Most orders see hospitalers as a training step. It's you are not a full Sister of Battle until you have finished that initiation training. And of course, out of character. This is off the top of my head and probably very wrong, but
Okay, we get to make up the canon.
yeah, you know. But there are quite a few sisters that most likely do not get Hospitaller training, but our order was more focused on seeing to the sick and wounded than we were on bringing the sword to the enemy.
Well, that's good to hear. I feel like if you'd been the kind of sister that put the sword to everyone, I feel like we wouldn't get along as well.
I feel as though every step of what we've done would have been far different if I was. And as we're talking about this, I can just... It's great because the stream can't see Hugh's shit-eating grin as I was saying all of that.
I mean,
If I'm being
I think he was
perfectly honest,
laughing
I was actually reacting to the brick evolving Eevee into a ghost type.
Wait, oh, you're looking at the actual
God,
chat. Oh,
that's
okay.
awful.
Wow.
I hit it.
you're welcome.
I mean, if you want to drift loon, just tie a balloon around a kid's neck. Job done.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So how close was I with talking about how the Sisters of Battle handle their initiation?
A lot of monasteries will have their initiate starters first, Sisters of the Cloister, cleaning, maintaining the monasteries, etc. Then Hospitallers. Then they go through a Crucible of Fire and become full Sisters, and then they work their way up the ranks through there.
Okay.
But some remain as Hospitallers throughout. Many monasteries maintain hospitals monitored by their own Hospitallers as a place for their initiates to pass through and then move on from.
Yeah.
But some do focus entirely on one area or the other. It entirely depends on which particular monastery you're talking about.
Yeah. If I remember, the game Inquisitor Martyr, at one point you go to a hospital that's run by the Sisters, don't you?
You do indeed.
Yeah. I thought so.
That is infected with poxwalkers.
Yep. Yep.
Fun.
Sister of Battle hospitals see some pretty nasty shit too.
Yeah, I believe
Get
it.
the worst of the worst, because they have the best medical training of anyone bar the Mechanicus, because they get trained by the Mechanicus.
Yep.
I
But
say
yeah.
that like I know that.
Yeah, there was a book I read, which is a very good book. What the fuck's it called? Shit, I've entirely forgotten now. Either way, it's a Black Library book about a sister of battle who returns to her convent, but they have a really good depiction of a hospital run by the sisters in that. It's really interesting, and they have a sudden influx of people they're treating for an infection of this crystal that grows rapidly and fractures like glass.
That almost sounds like Eldar stuff. But
No,
not.
it's definitely chaos.
Yeah, I was gonna say Eldar stuff isn't infectious. That's the only
Yeah,
difference.
You learn how they got it through the book, and I won't spoil it because
Yeah.
it is honestly a really good book. And if I could remember the name, I would tell you guys.
Yeah. But yeah, Noalia looks driven says, yes, the main difference between us is we focused almost entirely on hospitals rather than the frontline fighting. We did have our own warriors and soldiers, but most of us stayed as Hospitallers.
I hate to be the guy that tells you, but Ribbon BRB.
Yeah, you know. But yeah,
Requiem Infernal. That's the book.
that's the one. Okay. But yeah, once the information has been done, or has finished being sent, has been done. The fuck is that? Noalia will hand the data slate back to Flux.
All right.
Yep, we'll pocket it and head back.
Very well. My contact said they would be calling again in an hour, so I will be busy with that.
Sounds good. We'll be heading to pick up the gear that we had left.
Very good.
Yeah. You're able to head back, pick up the lone generator, a couple of standing lights, and some digging equipment left behind.
We had also left the other equipment in a cache farther away from the site.
Yeah, we dropped off some
I
of
didn't
the
want to take it with us.
yeah the half that we brought up to the Taurox we dropped off elsewhere, and then
Fair enough. Yep. You can grab that as well. Head on back to the village.
No.
Oh.
I'm gonna take the time to go through it. Make sure everything was in working order, nothing weird mechanically or physically with stuff, no trackers, stuff like that.
Alright.
we
Are you
touched-
going to delegate or do that yourself?
I'm gonna do that myself. If anyone wants to help, they are welcome to.
delegate checking the grenades to Nualia. She just pulls out a safety pin, pulls the pin on the grenade, and waits.
Yikes.
That's
Alright, anyone who wants to check over the gear, go ahead and give me a tech or awareness roll. Or investigation. I'd allow that as well.
I
Yeah,
let me
just
see.
look at it.
I could assist with awareness. Yeah.
Awareness. Wrath.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs.
Nice. Very good.
I rolled a 4. 4 will stand. It was 8:30. I don't know how many. Fuck it.
I
6 and a glory.
yay.
Hey.
Yeah. Between the four of you, you actually managed to go over the gear quite quickly. Most of it seems untampered with. But as you go over the carapace armor, you find several odd things. Most of the carapace armor is damaged significantly. But you find around on the chest piece, there is a small box around slightly to the right side of the middle of the chest that once you open it up and start having a look, you find a tracker and a tiny little packet of explosive.
God damn it.
So that's in the armor?
Yep,
Yeah.
on the inside of the chest plate. So if it went off, it would have killed whoever was wearing it. Probably wouldn't have hurt anyone else.
Flux will just raise the bit of explosive in the tracker and grin at Noelia. Aren't you glad I didn't let you use any of the stuff in this?
I suppose.
It's
Out of
tracker.
character. Yeah, out of character. I'm trying to remember where that was from.
The carapace armor you stripped off the bodies in the cave.
Okay, that is what that's from. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the rest of the kit seems untampered with. The scuba gear is fairly basic. It doesn't look like it has any kind of computerized components. Nothing else seems booby-trapped.
Is there anything here that's like worth salvaging?
The digging equipment could definitely be sold on to someone, or you could use the parts to make a variety of motorized implements.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
Yeah, we're keeping as much as is useful. The explosives, the grenades, the scuba and mining equipment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
the scuba gear can definitely be, like, the tank and rebreather can be hodgepodged into a gas mask with an air supply.
really like that idea.
Or we can keep it as scuba gear in case that's useful. There's a lot of water places on this planet that we might need
okay.
to use to get in places.
I was about to ask if there was any
Imagine-
water on this planet.
You have seen the map of the planet.
This is true.
Just
Imagine infiltrating a place, scubaing through the reservoir.
that would actually be
Dun,
that would
dun,
actually
dun.
be really effective.
Yeah.
Imagine this modification. Powered chainsword.
I
All
could probably do that.
I do wonder,
I
Hugh,
think
how
we could technically make a chain weapon force.
I was gonna say, how
The problem
effective would
with
that
that-
be?
The problem with that is that if you applied a power field to a chain blade, you'd probably have to either apply it to each individual tooth, which would require a tiny little power generator all of its own, or you'd apply it to the chain as a whole, which would atomize the entire frame it's built around.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is
No,
as soon as
It's not
you,
really doable.
Yeah,
That's
as-
why it's never been done.
yeah,
in
as
law,
soon as you,
because that
as soon
would be a
as you
little
rev
unfair.
it, as soon as you rev it once, just the whole case just dissolves.
Just make it force instead. Brain it.
Isn't that mostly for psychers?
I mean, it is entirely for psychos.
Yeah, that's what I
It
thought.
could, in theory, be done. You'd need some really fancy engineering for that, though. You'd have to have, like... I mean, we're going way off the deep end on, like, how mechanically this should work, but in my opinion, you'd probably have to work out some way to get psychic contacts that were in contact with the chain as it rotated without breaking or wearing through. That could mean that the chain was in turn powered by the same conduit that was connected to the psyker. Could be done, but seems very
That'd be
expensive
pretty
and expensive.
badass.
A force chainsword does sound like it would be pretty amazing.
Like, the Eldar do that, but that's because the entire thing is psychoconductive.
Yeah.
True. That reminds me of a
But
fucking
that's like
argument
saying,
I
oh
had
yeah,
with-
I could electrify a chainsaw if I electrified the entire fucking chainsaw. Like, yes, you could, but humans can't withstand that.
Beautiful.
But yes, you check over the rest of the gear. It all seems relatively harmless and intact. The generator is running low on fuel, and the lamps are fairly large. But yep, seems decent. You're able to pull together about 2 hand grenades worth of explosives from the booby-trapped armor,
Ooh.
So wait,
as
are we...
the others had been damaged.
Sorry, do we have any
One
other
of them
mission
appeared to have been
objectives,
hit in the chest by a las bolt, and the explosive had gone off.
Do we have any other mission objectives, or are we good to head back to camp at this point?
Our other mission objectives are just to figure out what's happening in the town.
Oh, heading back to the town. Right. Yes, they love me there, I'm sure.
I think for the most part we have solved it, but always good to check to stay and make sure that it is solved.
The fuck do you know that I don't know?
Nothing. I just know that, as with gene stealer incursions, do not assume that that you have finished the invasion until
None.
everything is dead.
What about it is solved?
Oh, I just imagined that these elites were the ones who had messed with the radio, and that the Habho was likely the one messing with the cattle, but I don't
That was
know.
a gene stealer.
Do any of these
You do not
items
want to
that
know.
we have, would any of them take parts from the Vox unit?
That actually is a question I had meant to ask last time and forgot. Was the parts that we found on the one guy for his small Vox bead? Does it look like it might have been put together?
Nope, that was clearly a factory-made model.
Ah,
It might have needed
Then-
replacement parts at some point.
then actually, thinking about everything, I apologize. I was assuming too much.
Well, you know what they say about assuming.
Makes an ass out of you and me.
Oh, I actually had no idea, so... Anyway, yeah, I guess let's drive back to town.
Yeah. Here's to hoping the box unit isn't broken again.
Yeah, you
Alex,
are
you
able
alright?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you sound super tired.
Yeah, you make your way back to the town. That's the wrong one.
Different town.
You make your way back to the town, pulling up at your abandoned campsite.
The tank is on fire.
No, the tank is fine. It's parked off to this side instead, but yeah, waiting as it was, you're able to bring the two Tauruxes back into position.
All right. Lanewald, Packard, you think you two still up for plan? I didn't give it a name. It wasn't my plan. Sleeping priest.
Laymord looks a little confused, but Packard says, "Yeah, I'll head back to my perch on top of the garage."
Flux is just gonna tap Riven on the shoulder.
What's up?
You know, naming it something at all related to what you're doing makes it pointless to name it something different.
Look, I was having a hard enough time trying to think about what kind of flora and fauna everyone here has seen before, so that was the first thing that came to mind.
Okay.
Besides, who else is gonna know?
Anyone that's trying to sneak into the thing that's listening to this.
Yeah, but we're just having a conversation.
You're right, Operation Sleeping Priest is very stealthy. Good
Yes.
job.
Excellent, thank you. I'm glad you like it.
As you discuss this, Packard and Laymord head off to their positions.
I don't know, you can name it whatever you want. It wasn't my idea. I just came up with something in the moment.
I imagine by this point it's probably been the hour. Do I have to reconnect, or are they calling me?
I would say on your way back, you received the call. Click on your Vox. I'd say you probably hear a chime from the Rosette.
Then yeah, then I will connect it up.
Yeah, there's the familiar click and the interrogator's voice. Can confirm sighted craft appear to match vague similarities with Tau Dolphin air cars, though they do show signs of extensive modification. Our
Indeed.
strategists are still searching through records to try and find a match for the symbol you relayed.
Hopefully they will be able to. Might be a bit presumptuous of me, but I hope that if any match is found, then maybe one day I will have the chance to meet them on the field.
If the Emperor is with us, I am sure you will have that day.
Then I look forward to it. Is there anything else?
That is all the information we have acquired from the data relayed. Keep us informed of any further developments.
Understood. Thank you. And yep, she'll click off.
Yeah.
I feel like just the fact that she's the one clicking off is already like, you need to show more respect to the Inquisition. But yeah.
Alright.
as the camp sets up and gets back to normal, after about 2 or 3 minutes, there's a click on the Vox, and you hear Packard's voice. There's someone in the fucking garage.
Ooh.
Flux will hit their comm on it and stealth over.
Was that to everyone?
It was on an open frequency.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
your
that's
cellular
fine.
frequency.
Nualia will follow, but will not go to the garage itself. She'll wait right here.
Algotrim's really fast and asking permission to assault.
What?
Hello? He said he has permission to assault? Capture?
Oh, sorry. I honestly don't know.
Let's find out who it is first. Hang on standby though. Where the hell's the actual building? I don't even know where I am on this map anymore.
Top.
Top right, yeah? Oh, no, hella top right.
Left.
Left.
That's the garage.
Yeah. I guess in that case, I'll ask Packard. What does this person look like?
I don't know. Heard movement. Haven't gone in yet.
Try to get eyes on. If they're wearing blue and the scarf, do say.
Yeah, I'll head up with Flux to go check it out.
Alex has to be right back, so...
Then I
Riven,
totally...
you're in command.
Cool, great, yeah, well, I'm the second, so... Alright, yeah, Agrotrom, Nualia, come back me up. I'll go
Very
take a
well.
look in.
I will stay a small distance away so that I don't give you away, but I will come in once you've entered the door.
These are all like bay doors, or do I have to go around?
They are both large bay doors, yes.
Alright.
Actually, I shall go
Can I-
around the
Do
back.
I know about this? Oh, alright, yeah, yes.
Yeah,
That
we
sounds
would
good.
we would know. We've checked the place out.
Alright.
So yeah. So yeah, no
So,
Wally.
you wall them in and then I'll sit on their backs so they can't get up.
Sounds good. Yeah, how's this? What's the deal with this door? How's it open?
It rolls up to the ceiling.
Alright. Okay.
I'm gonna stealth around to this entrance.
Go ahead and roll me a stealth.
Ayy.
Ooh, nice.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's real good.
And yeah, she'll be right here.
Nualia, as you round the corner, go ahead and roll me an awareness.
Okay.
There's like 30 guys in there.
I'm gonna use my last wrath on this.
You do also have glory.
I do.
You also got a 5.
And you have
Yeah.
another glory.
Can
Will
you,
you?
you should burn one. Just
Well, then
'cause-
you have to burn it, because you can't earn another.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'll roll one just to get it out there.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's a waste.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, as you round the corner, you see a shape darting away, moving surprisingly fast, heading in that direction.
Okay. I get on the Vox and go. That's to the north, right?
Yes.
Contact heading north. I'm going after them.
Alright.
That sounds like assault now.
Yeah, Agrotrom, get after her.
I'm just gonna throw open the bay upwards, get in
That's-
there
Wait,
after
you're gonna go
whoever's
in? I
inside.
was gonna say, I was telling you. to go
Well,
to
I'm
the
on your
Nualia.
side. They're the one.
Fastest
Wally
way
went all the
is-
way around.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Fastest
Yep,
way is through the bay. Yeah.
Alright. Yeah.
So yeah, And presumably I'll try to catch the guy in here, and Nawada catches up to the person there.
Hey, if I have to, I will shoot them in the leg.
Yeah, easy.
Let's find out who
So-
they are first.
Oh yeah, I hope to. So basically my stab lights come on, just immediate floodlights in the area.
All right.
Yeah.
So a bunch of
Is
stuff
it a
happening at
tough
once.
thing to get these bay doors open?
No, it's not difficult at all. They're unlocked. You reach down, give it a heft, it rolls up fairly smoothly. Bit of a rattle.
I guess we probably probably do like a cool roll in and like come up with our guns pointed.
I mean, Agratron has his axe out and he's sprinting inwards to tackle someone.
Yeah, light streams in behind you and illuminates a pair of vehicles, the truck that Flux had been helping to repair and the car that had taken Agratron out. And between them, a pool of blood slowly spreading.
Shit. All right. I'm gonna do a quick Medicae, see if they're still alive.
Nwalia, give me an athletics roll.
Okay. Can I do?
Give me a Medicaid.
Can I do athletics and awareness as I'm trying to get a better sight on this thing?
Sure.
Thank you.
Oh, jeez, I'm rattling the hell out of that. Not
There's
taking
another
2
glory.
Medicae.
Just so I
Okay,
don't. Just
I'm
so.
gonna take 2.
Yeah, burn that shit.
Yeah.
All right, so one more
One
success, I
extra
guess?
success.
All
Yeah.
right, so 5 on the Medicae.
And then I've got 4 on athletics, 4 on awareness.
Alright. So, Ribbon, you find the male twin. Let me just grab my notes so I can check his name.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Oh, right, this guy.
Oh, and Nawalia is also going to say on the Vox, Packard, are you still on the roof?
No, he hadn't gotten up there. He was outside with you
Oh.
as
Okay.
the others breached in.
Fair.
But yes, Lucas Birch,
Right.
lying dead on the floor.
Damn it. Like, actually dead?
He is very definitely dead. There is a gash in his neck, a raw, ragged hole.
Damn it.
Yikes.
All right.
It seems like there's only a dead guy here. Agratron is going to
Yeah.
sprint his way through here and try to get with Noalia.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same. There's nothing I can do for this guy.
Go ahead and give me athletics rolls, the two of you.
Sure. Oh, yeah. My whopping... I think I have 2? Yeah.
Roll double successes. Another glory!
I did roll another glory. Yeah.
This is our moment!
Somehow.
You guys can choose to roll glory if you want to. You've got plenty
I
of it.
was, you know what? Can I
Yeah.
augment my my athletics that has not been its result has not been decided yet? So can I augment that with 2 dice?
I haven't given you the results, so technically you're within the rules. Go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
It is now a 6. There we go.
Could I use one on mine? Y'all good with that?
I'm good
Yeah.
with it.
I'll catch up to you.
Nice.
Hey,
Nice.
Evan. You should use the last one.
No, it's
Riven.
fine. I have a 2. I'll catch up with you.
Okay.
Alright.
I have noodle arms and legs.
The two of you sprint on, leaving Ribbon a little bit behind. Nawalia, you have a head start. It looks like a human figure. It's hard to make out. They're moving surprisingly fast, strangely as well. They're zigzagging, leaping off one foot and rebounding off the other. You've not seen anyone run quite like that before. They're very carefully trying to keep objects between you and them. But you do seem to be gaining on them slowly.
with my 4 awareness, am I able to tell any extra details about them, or that all of that was because of the awareness?
That was because of the awareness.
Okay, understood.
Agrotrom, you do quickly gain on Nualia, though.
It's like fucking wacky races right now.
Do not make me throw a
guess I should
banana
take it.
behind me, okay?
I guess I'll roll an awareness to see if I notice anything more. Yikes! Nah, I don't
Damn.
fucking like. Just
Can I-
thing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna catch you guys. Can I, like, take a knee and look down the sights of my scope to see if I can get a better look at this person?
Snipe
Sure.
their legs.
I'm not
Go
sure
ahead
I
and
wanna
give me an
shoot them.
awareness roll.
Alright. Oh, come on.
Ooh. Jeez.
Nah.
Nope.
Their movements are hard to predict.
Mm-hmm.
Can't get a clear sight on them.
And you said, from what I can tell, this thing has a roughly human shape, right?
They're wearing human clothes, even.
Okay.
Also, is it still the middle of the day? Or is it, like, dark out now?
It is still very bright.
Okay.
Alright, as we are running, I'm gonna lift my lasgun and take a shot at their legs. So yeah, called shot to the legs.
Alright.
Well,
Go
while
for
he
it.
does that, I'm gonna spend my thing trying to catch up closer so that I can tackle him if that doesn't pan out.
Oh, wait, last guns have a stun setting, don't they?
We
They
have
have
been
low power setting.
yeah, we have been doing low power. So yeah, I'll do specifically low power setting.
Alright.
And then I
Let's
think
see.
I will, when I can, I will also take a shot.
But I am not aiming. Let's see. That's right. I put the red dot sight on the heavy las. Okay.
Riven, are you waiting to see how Nualia's shot goes, or are you just firing as well?
No, I'll wait and see what happens. At this point, I'm in like half sniper stance, so
Can I
Yeah, you.
hold, can I take that last die?
yeah.
Yee.
Very good. 6.
Hey.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, you crack off a shot. He jerks to the side at the last moment, almost avoiding it, but you clip his leg. He slams into the ground.
Very good. Very good.
Alright, I'll start making my way up since I'm assuming this is slowing down.
Yeah, I'm gonna go dogpile this fucker.
Go
Yeet
ahead and
right
give
on his
me,
ass.
Give me a combat initiative roll, Agrotrom.
I was really hoping to hear athletics.
Hey, still.
Still pretty good.
It sounds like a knife ears in humans' clothing, so they're probably way better at this than me.
Hey, don't.
Give me a strength roll.
That I'm better at. Average.
Not bad.
Avery, were you saying something to me a second ago?
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just sort of make my way up there now that there's this fucking dog pile going on.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to keep the guy incapacitated. I'm not trying to chop him up.
Yeah, you managed to grab him, Agrotrom. And he struggles wildly, kicking and shoving, trying to get away from you. It appears to be the guy you just saw dead.
What?
What?
Whoa.
Oh no.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh no. Oh no.
Eh? What the fuck are you? Are you a shape changer? What is this?
As he
You
kicks
better have
at
good
you,
words or I'm gonna chop you. He's swinging his axe around.
Stop.
as he kicks at you, he yells, "No, get off me! No, you've got to be one of them as well!" pushes himself back.
You, what is going on? Shut up! Explain yourself, or I will take your head.
Noalia.
Calm the hell down.
Yeah, Noalia comes up as well. Let's not kill it
Just like
before we know what it is.
No, can you restrain this person?
Absolutely. Yeah, she'll. I've got void tape. Yeah, I'll take out some void tape and start restraining the person.
Go ahead and give me a strength roll. Agrotron can assist.
Okay.
Okay, I'll do that. Ooh. What the fuck?
Oh my god. Oh.
What's happening?
We all got
Yeah.
cocky and burned
Hold
all
on.
the wrath too soon.
Yeah, I know, right? Mason, do you have any wrath?
No,
Damn it.
I used my last one already.
Yeah, you both try to grab for him, and he manages to slip an arm out and slaps you across the face, Agrotron. And in that brief moment of surprise, he kicks you in the ribs and pushes away, scrabbling over and starting to run again.
I will shoot you again, and this time in the back if you keep running.
Give me an intimidation roll.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Do I have...
I don't know. Can I assist for my retroactive, like, yelling about cutting him to pieces?
Hell, you could just shout something out.
I don't know. It'd just be the same thing as I said earlier. It's like, fucking stop moving, or your legs are gone, and some shit like that. But I don't know if it's as intimidating the second time.
Every little bit helps.
Would that count as an assist to you?
You feel like this is largely on Nualia at this point.
Aw.
Okay.
Alright, 5.
Hey.
I'll take that.
Yeah, at your words, he slows, raising his hands, slowly turns around.
And yeah, Nawalia will slowly approach, gun still raised. Go ahead, Avery.
Can everybody just like sit down for a second so we can talk? Before we do any void tape binding, can we at least try and just sit down?
I mean, he can keep his hands up and talk. We just want void tape him.
That's fine. but
Anyway,
it's like,
speak. What happened?
Let's just take a second and sit.
I agree.
Does this person any kind of reaction?
Looking very frightenedly between the three of you, and slowly nods.
Lit-
All right,
legitimately.
I'll sit
We just wanna
down.
talk. Okay. So, we'll sit down. We don't need to void tape anybody just yet. Agrotrom, you're not gonna chop them just yet. I mean, have the chopping
He
ready.
just hears the
but-
just yet.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's the point.
Like,
Okay.
if you want to tell me off, don't like add little bits at the end like that.
It's
Just for
fine.
future reference. Anyway,
I'm not. Okay.
Uh,
What is your? What's your name?
I apologize. Alex has a good question. We are at time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We will return next week as the three of you sit down in the open ground,
It's like a field or something, right?
I mean,
Pretty
wide
much.
open plain littered with Cardias blood grass.
All right.
I mean, I think Agotrom's gonna stand, but that doesn't make him any like taller than anyone sitting down.
But yeah, we will return next week
All
and
right.
find out what exactly is going on.
Sweet.
All right. Then yeah. Hope everybody has enjoyed and hope everybody has a good night. I'm not going to worry about rating right now. We've got 2 viewers, one of which is Hugh. So thank you, Hugh. But no,
Keep an eye on chat.
thank you to everybody who was watching, is watching. Thank you to all the bots for your attempts. And yeah, hope everybody has a good one. Bye bye.
Bye.
Yes.